So far this season, the Eagles have rolled through the NFC with all indicators pointing towards a fourth consecutive division title. Today, Joe Gibbs turns to a new quarterback to jumpstart a sputtering Redskins offense in hopes of matching a defense that has been running on all cylinders. The crowd here in Philadelphia going wild as Donovan McNabb and the Eagles get ready for the latest installment of their longtime rivalry. It's the 8-1 Eagles getting set to host the 3-6 Washington Redskins. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. Kenny Albert along with Brian Baldinger. Eagles off to their best start in over 40 years. Eagles and their fans will look back at March 16th, perhaps, as the most important date of this season, and that was the day, Brian, they acquired Terrell Owens.
It should be a holiday in Philadelphia, and he should be the reason why. And really, McNabb and T.O., their relationship goes back 4 years now at the Pro Bowl. And McNabb realized that you learn a lot about a player at work, and he saw the work ethic of Terrell Owens over there in Hawaii trying to win football games. And that spirit, that tenacity, that work ethic has carried over to this entire team, to the whole city. It's made Andy Reid a better play caller. It's made McNabb a better quarterback. It's made this team believe that they can go all the way this year.
And the Eagles today face the Washington Redskins, who brought back Joe Gibbs as head coach in January. Gibbs went out and signed Mark Brunell, but after 9 games, Brunell is out at quarterback. Patrick Ramsey is in.
Yeah, and Joe Gibbs said that it was a gut feeling to change quarterbacks last week, and really, it was lack of productivity that made him make the change. The Redskins hadn't scored more than 18 points in a game this year, and that's a shame because the defense has played winning football all year. But it's really not about Ramsey today. It's about Clinton Portis. The Redskins want to run the ball. They want to control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, and that's what they're going to lean on heavily today. For the Eagles, they made a change at quarterback this week as well. Last week, Jeremiah Trotter made his first start for an Eagle since he left Philadelphia. He gave them a spark. He shut down the run against Dallas. But this is a much better running game this week. We'll see if Jeremiah can again spark the defense here today.
All right, Brian, there is still time to check how your fantasy football team is doing this week. Text message 63504 on your singular wireless phone or log on to foxsports.com.
We're talking about bring them out right now. Bring them out, because we out. We out, we doing something. Bring them out. Bring them out. Nah.
The Freak is ready. As we check out early scores, Ravens now 7-3 following their victory over the slumping Cowboys. Tampa Bay all over the 49ers. Carolina leading Arizona late. Vikings in come-from-behind fashion defeat the Lions. And Buffalo all over St. Louis.
How about Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh? The story just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Of course, up the turnpike today, Eli Manning gets his first start at the Meadowlands for the Giants against the Falcons.
And 4 touchdown passes for Eli Manning's brother, Peyton.
35 on the year and chasing Dan Marino's at one time seemingly invincible record of 48 touchdowns in a season.
Ladell Betts on the return for the Redskins and takes it out to the 22-yard line. 20-yard return. Roderick Hood with the tackle on special teams. So Patrick Ramsey makes his first start this season, his 17th NFL start, his first in nearly a full year.
Well, his last start was right here against the Eagles.
The men protecting Ramsey. Corey Raymer in the middle. Chris Samuels has gone to a pair of Pro Bowls. Portis in the backfield. And this is Clinton Portis, and he loses 3 yards on first down to Honey Jones. Makes the tackle in the backfield for the Eagles' 23rd ranked defense. The men up front, Burgess, Walker, Simon, and Kearse, who has 6 sacks. Trotter in the middle. Reese starting for the injured Nate Wayne. Lito Shepard leading the NFC with 4 interceptions. Second down and 14. Portis looking to turn the corner, and he is taken down. Hit for a loss again. This time, it's the right corner, Sheldon Brown.
This is Ramsey's third action this year. First start, you know, he came in against the Giants. He was losing 20-7. Last week, he came in the second quarter. They were down 17-0. Joe Gibbs thought that, you know what, he deserves a chance to play 0-0. But already, the Eagles have him in a tough spot. Don't expect the Redskins to get too aggressive this part of the field.
So Portis losing 4 yards on each of his first 2 carries today. Ramsey to the air for the first time. And the pass off the fingertips of Rod Gardner. But there is a flag. Walt Anderson, our referee today.
Well, the quarterback was still in the pocket and before the pass was thrown. Holding, number 26, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Costly mistake on Lito Shepherd, the left corner here, going up against Rod Gardner. The outside, Gardner's just running a slant. You see, he got a little, that grab of the jersey. It's minute. The fans don't like it, but that's what they were emphasizing this year. It wasn't necessary.
And it gives the Redskins an automatic first down after they faced a 3rd down and 18 on their opening drive.
Well, instead of knocking the Redskins out right there and getting the ball in good field position, they give the Redskins life.
From the 19, it's Portis. Gains positive yardage for the first time. Gain of 2, Reese and Trotter on the tackle.
You know, a couple different things for this Redskin. I mean, Ramsey is a right-handed quarterback. Brunell was a left-handed quarterback. So the whole offense was geared going left. The Eagles getting ready for the Redskins today. They got to get used to a right-handed quarterback again. The offense will shift and change a little bit. Ramsey has a stronger arm than Brunell, and he should be able to make a lot better throws than Brunell has been able to make this year.
2nd down and 8 from the 21. Redskins keep it on the ground with Portis. Picks up the first down out across the 30 to the 31-yard line before he's finally taken down by Michael Lewis. Gain of 10 yards for Clinton Portis.
The weakness of this Eagle defense this year, last year, the year before has been right in the middle. So here's Jeremiah Trotter right here. He misses and overruns this ball right here. Portis cuts right behind him. What you'll see Trotter do today, see he overran that play? They cut behind him. That's what they want the Eagles to do, to go one way and cut back behind him.
Portis, the workhorse, leads the NFL in carries so far this season. And this is Portis' 5th carry of this drive, and he gains just 1 up to the 32-yard line, setting up a 2nd down and long.
Clint Portis came from Denver, where he had 29 touchdowns, 3,000 yards in 2 years. He was the hottest running back in the NFL. But his scheme in Denver was a stretch scheme. Stretch the defense, cut behind him. They don't do that here in Washington, and that's one of the reasons why he struggled.
Play action. Ramsey rolling right, and the pass is caught by Chris Cooley. And the rookie fullback picks up the first down all the way out to the 46-yard line, a gain of 13.
Ramsey said that when he's in a huddle, he's actually eerily quiet. You know, he's so calm, he says, and right here he kind of demonstrates that. Cooley's the one looked like he was a little frustrated by the ball right in his hands. That bootleg used to go left with Brunell because he was a left-handed quarterback. Their bootlegs will go to the right today, so the Eagles have to anticipate that.
This drive kept alive by that penalty called on Lito Shepherd on 3rd down and 18 from the 45. Gardner broke free and picks up another Redskins first down in Eagles territory as Rod Gardner gains 11.
So early in this drive, the Eagle corners of Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown, both guilty of mistakes. On that hitch route, you have to come under control. You have to make the tackle right there because the inside pursuit isn't getting there fast enough. Want to try to get the ball in these wide receivers' hands early because they are big and they can make people miss.
From the Eagles 45, the pitch to Liddell Betts. And Betts may have had his face mask grabbed as he gained 5 yards down to the Eagles' 40.
Well, that's going to be the flagrant variety. You could just tell by the way that he was just pulled down. The 15-yard variety.
Personal foul. Grabbing the face mask, number 58, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So 2 huge penalties called on the Eagles' defense during this drive.
Yeah, and both of them result in first downs. Here's Ike Reese right here. And the reason why you grab is because you're not in position. You're not there where you need to be. And so you reach and you grab it. Same thing for holding, face mask. Same thing on the hold, on the grab by Lito Shepherd early in the series.
Ike Reese, the 7-year veteran, making only his 5th career start. Automatic first down from the Eagles' 25. Liddell Betts in the backfield. Betts takes it up the gut and gains 3 down to the Eagles' 22, setting up 2nd down and 7.
You know, one of the things that the Eagles have had to fight all week is that hangover that happens playing a game on Monday night, putting up a half 100 against the Cowboys, your division rival, and all that kind of stuff. Coming back at 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. We watched them in practice on Friday. They were dropping passes. They were lethargic. And Andy Reid agreed. He did think that they practiced well. Now, how you don't play sharp in this type of atmosphere, you'd have to wonder.
From the 22, this is Portis. Portis down to the 18-yard line, gain of 4. 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Okay, an interesting stat in the first 9 weeks of the season. Teams that won on Monday night were 2-7 the following week. Only 2 teams have won after winning on Monday night, the Eagles being one of them. Andy Reid, of course, a winning record after Monday night.
3rd down and 3 for the Redskins. They have to get to the Eagles' 15. The toss to Betts, and Betts stopped about 3 yards shy of the marker. And the Redskins, Joe Gibbs, elects to send out the field goal unit.
It's too far. I mean, it's well over a yard, almost 2 yards short. I think that at this point you try and get automatic points as much as you can. There's Ola Kimmerin out here. You know, they have injuries all over the place in this Redskin team, one of them being their kicker, Joe Hall. John Hall out right now, still trying to come back from a muscle injury.
There's a 35-yard attempt by Kimmerin. It is good. So the Redskins take advantage of 2 Eagle penalties. And the Redskins strike first on the 35-yard field goal by Ola Kimmerin.
You know, I live in this area, and all anybody talked about here in Philadelphia in the offseason was the loss of Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent, and how in the world they were ever going to replace those guys. I mean, look what Bobby Taylor and Troy Vincent have done this year. Not much. Bobby Taylor doesn't start in Seattle. Troy Vincent injured right now, trying to make the move to safety. Only 3 starts. They haven't missed those guys. And really, Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown have answered the call. They've been very good in the run game. But on the first series, mistakes from both those guys led to Redskin points. I mean, on the big 3rd down play, 3rd play of the game, Lito Shepherd with a hold on Rod Gardner. Not even necessary to grab that jersey in that situation. He was going to get the first down anyways. I think, you know, Andy Reid's job here today is to make sure this team is ready to play all week long, making sure this team is ready. He took them out of pads this week. They practiced distant shells. They a little lighter, a little shorter practices. But mentally is where teams get bothered after a long Monday night game, a big win, and the emotional letdown that sometimes happens.
Kimmerin's kickoff taken by Rod Hood. And Hood brings it out to the 33-yard line. Former Eagle James Thrash brought him down after the return of 26 yards. We welcome those of you who have been watching the Buffalo Bills and the St. Louis Rams. Kenny Albert, Brian Baldinger here in Philadelphia. Redskins a 35-yard field goal on their opening drive. Now the Eagles go to work, starting from their own 33. Brian Westbrook turns the corner. Penalty markers, 2 flags, as Westbrook picked up 12 and an Eagles first down.
Andy Westbrook coming back from a rib injury. Looked pretty good in that run. Andy Reid thought he went down too easy on Monday night.
Number 87, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
That's the 3rd Eagles penalty. It's against the wide receiver, Todd Pinkston.
Yeah, you know, and it's the 3rd grab, too. And that's just what you do. You grab and hold when you're not in position. Todd Pinkston has to move his feet there to body up Fred Smoot. Really, there's no reason to hold Fred Smoot. He's not a good tackler to begin with. Brian Westbrook is either going to run through him or around him.
1st and 18 following the penalty. 3 wide receivers set. McNabb in trouble. Down he goes. Back at the 19-yard line, a loss of 5. Brandon Noble along with Joe Salavea combining on the sack of McNabb, who passed for 345 yards in Dallas on Monday night. Thomas, Hicks, Fraley, Mayberry, and Runyon up front. Westbrook in the backfield, Owens and Pinkston the wideouts, and the tight end is Chad Lewis.
T.O. all alone at the bottom of the screen going up against Sean Springs, now in motion, trying to move him around.
2nd and 23 following the penalty and the sack. McNabb takes off, has running room, and he slides up to the 40-yard line. Gain of 19 for Donovan McNabb.
Well, that's the X factor, is McNabb and what he can do with his running skills right here. Probably still the best running back on the football team. You see that if they want to go man-to-man here and these guys are turning their back, it's going to create big lanes for McNabb down the field. McNabb will run today based on coverage. They get locked up in man-to-man on Terrell Owens and Todd Pinkston, and he sees white jerseys with their helmets turned away from him. Look for him to run today.
He has not run as much this season, only 120 yards on the ground coming into the game today. On 3rd and 4, McNabb calls timeout with the Redskins leading 3-0. We check in for the first time with James Brown in Los Angeles.
Kenny and Brian, blistering pace by Peyton Manning continues. Hooking up here with Reggie Wayne, one of 2 touchdown catches by Wayne. 4 touchdowns on a day for Manning. He's got 35 on the season in the victory over Chicago. Vic with time, patience, drilling a bullet to Algie Crumpler. Atlanta on top of the Giants, 7-0. Back to Kenny Albert and Brian Baldinger.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Philadelphia Eagles on their first possession today. Redskins getting a 35-yard field goal from Ola Kimrin on their opening drive. Kenny Albert, Brian Baldinger coming to you from Philadelphia. 3rd down and 4 after the 19-yard scramble by McNabb.
Couple are coming, a couple are dropping out.
McNabb complete. Westbrook first down into Redskins territory, out of bounds at the Washington 49 after a gain of 12.
Well, the Redskins are going to put a lot of people in the line of scrimmage today, and you got to kind of guess which ones are coming. These guys are dropping out. They're bluffing. McNabb doesn't panic. The protection holds up here. A couple crossing routes. Really, Westbrook already showing kind of a return to form of quickness already in this game, turning the corner and breaking tackles. And when you come back from a rib injury, it's a painful injury, and it takes a while to kind of get your wind back and your breath, and it looks like it's returned.
From the Redskins 49. McNabb does a good job not crossing the line of scrimmage, and the pass a bit low, intended for Owens. Redskins with the 2nd-ranked defense coming into the game today. Only the Steelers have allowed fewer yards per game than Washington. 2nd and 4 from the 49. McNabb, 2nd and 4 from the 49. 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 2nd and 4 from Missing Cornelius Griffin, who leads the Redskins with 4 sacks, replaced today by Jermaine Haley. Also without a couple of linebackers, LeVar Arrington and Michael Barrow. So a number of replacements on defense getting the job done for Washington. Smoot and Springs, terrific season at quarterback for coordinator Greg Williams. From the 49 of Washington, another big hole for Westbrook, and he is close to a first down, a gain of 9.
Andy Reid thought that Westbrook, the problem he had Monday night, he had a good game all around with total purpose yards, but he thought he went down too easy. Today, he looks sharp. He's sticking his head in there, he's bouncing off defenders, and he's running low. He's running behind his pads here, and with a good skip, and that's a huge hole right there, but that's a good burst right in there. You mentioned the Redskins, Kenny. They have been decimated by injuries. They got backups taking roles of backups right now. Defensive lineman LeVar Arrington, Bowles, Mike Barrow, Cornelius Griffin, Philip Daniels. I mean, one starter after another has gone down, yet Greg Williams has done a good job of keeping these guys fighting every week.
Eagles just short. So it will be 3rd down and less than a yard.
Well, the Redskins have been good on 3rd and short this year. The Eagles haven't been particularly good. And here's a couple of stats for the Redskins this year. I mean, they just lost their #1 ranking defensively in yards allowed last week. They want that #1 ranking.
They allow only 16.5 points per game, which is 3rd in the league.
Andy Reid in this situation, less than a yard, almost a foot, likes the quarterback sneak McNabb. The Redskins will overplay it right in the middle here.
Dorsey Levens in the backfield, Owens in motion, and this is Levens, and he picks up the first.
Dorsey Levens looked good last week on Monday night. I mean, he looked like he found the fountain of youth. Injuries are healed up. It takes 30 seconds just to unravel that pile there. But Dorsey Levens has become their short yardage back, their goal line back, and look at him. He's still got great size. And the thing is, his entire career outside of 1 year with the Giants is spent in this offense. So he knows this offense forwards and backwards. Knew Andy Reid, of course, at Green Bay. Really wasn't, Green Bay didn't win a championship until Dorsey Levens became the focal point of that running game.
Westbrook back in. And Westbrook picks up another first down and more. Finally tackled at the 17-yard line by Sean Taylor. A gain of 21 yards for Brian Westbrook.
Well, as Westbrook picks out the clod out of his helmet, you got to give credit here to the offensive line and what they do up front. Watch him. Artis Hicks, the left guard, gets pulling here. Nice job by Artis Hicks right here. Knockdown block right there. And Artis Hicks, an undrafted free agent a couple of years ago, is becoming a dominant player for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And he just leveled Ryan Clark.
Yeah, I mean, you like that matchup now. You like 320 pounds on 195-pound safety.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weight advantages. It's just simple WWF mechanics. Oh, here we go, put a clock on it.
Is this Monday night?
Yeah.
Again?
He's trying to get 14 seconds.
I don't think he got up to 14 that time.
You know, he said something amazing to us Friday when we visited him about that play, that 14 seconds. He recounted the whole play, second by second. He said he could see everybody in the secondary. He remembers Lynn Scott coming down, remembers T.O. getting knocked off his feet. He said he could see everything. And you think that when you're running like that and you're just running for your life, that it would become a blur. And he said none of it was a blur. It was clear all the way, like it was in HD.
They said it looked like a video game.
Yeah.
2nd and 7 from the 14. Westbrook gains a yard. Brian Westbrook, a Redskins fan, as a youngster growing up in Maryland. In fact, he was a point guard for DeMatha High School in Washington.
Oh, famous program.
Morgan Wooten, the head coach.
Well, this Redskin defense has been blistered 2 of the last 3 weeks early in the game. Last week by Cincinnati, a couple weeks ago by Cincinnati, and then they kind of regrouped. You know, they charted some things differently. They made some changes, and they stiffened up. Right now, Philadelphia kind of taking it to them, but this has happened to this defense the last few weeks. They're beginning to wear down.
11th play of the drive for the Eagles. 3rd down and 6. McNabb takes off, and he's tackled just shy of the 7, close to the 1st down marker.
Sean Taylor, the rookie out of Miami, tried to take McNabb's head off. I don't know if he's all right either. And I think he's kind of shook up by this hit. It's a clothesline here. Never got the face guard. That thinks it's a 1st down, but I don't think the ball crossed that line.
We saw a similar tackle from Taylor last week, and the Redskins lost to the Bengals.
Oh yeah, now he is a huge hitter. What a ball! It was a pretty good spot that time.
Eagles awarded with the 1st down. Levens cuts it back inside and takes it all the way down to the 1.
So the offensive line is coming off the football right now. Watch Hank Fraley, the center here, try to finish this football play. Try to get Levens into, watch Fraley come through here. Double teamed right there at the point. Fraley never stops moving. Now watch this. Linemen want to score 2 now. Here comes Fraley over the top, getting a shot on Ryan Clark in the end zone.
Brian, the Eagles have been a quick strike offense this year. However, this will be the 13th play of this drive.
Well, they've been a big play offense. They haven't necessarily sustained offense very well like this year.
2nd and goal from the 2. McNabb to the end zone. Touchdown, Chad Lewis, who has caught more touchdowns from Donovan McNabb than anybody during McNabb's career with the Eagles.
The toughest play in football is a goal line pass because the defense has to make a decision to play run or pass immediately. You have to honor the run. And they did. They were still well covered. They still got Antonio Pierce out there, but that was a beautiful throw by McNabb with touch, and he dropped it right out of the sky into Lewis's hands.
2nd touchdown this season for Lewis. David Akers adds the extra point. A 13-play, 67-yard drive. One of the key plays, the 19-yard run by McNabb.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
Back in Philadelphia, both teams have scored on their opening drives. A field goal for the Redskins, a touchdown for the Eagles.
Well, I think all year the Eagles have responded to adversity. You know, you lose to Pittsburgh and you stink it up there in the Steel City, and you come right back and you punch Dallas in the mouth and you knock out your divisional foe, and then, you know, Washington comes down and scores the opening drive. You come right back and answer it. And without T.O. getting involved.
Akers kickoff taken at the 1 by Liddell Betts. And Betts brings it out to the 27. Redskins back at offense late 1st quarter when we come back.
On the Eagles' opening drive there to score, they were 3 for 3 on 3rd down, and they got a good spot in the last 3rd down. McNabb in the circle there. Gets clotheslined here by Sean Taylor. His feet crossed that yellow line, but the ball clearly never crosses the line. In fact, the ball's back at the 8. They got about a yard good spot there to keep that drive going.
And now penalty markers on 1st down.
It was a big break for the Eagles here.
For the snap, false start, number 88, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Robert Royal, the tight end, and then after that favorable spot for the Eagles, they scored their touchdown just 2 plays later.
Yeah, got Dorsey Levens, you know, with a good run down to the 2, and then the touchdown throw to Chad Lewis. McNabb's high for rushing this year is 36 yards. He got 28 on that drive to keep a couple drives alive.
1st down and 15. And the give to Portis, and he is tackled in the backfield again, this time by Jeremiah Trotter. A loss of 1 on the play.
Well, look what the Eagles do here, scheme-wise. I mean, right now, you look at this and you say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys right there in the box. They only had 7 blockers. So Trotter, when they get 8 guys up like that, is blitzing every play. He's either hitting the center or hitting the gap between the center and the guard.
That will do it for the first quarter. Eagles leading 7-3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local station. Kenny Albert, Brian Baldinger back in Philadelphia. 2nd and 16 for the Redskins from their own 21. James Thrash in motion. Ramsey gets rid of it quickly. Lavernius Coles. And Coles takes it all the way out across the 35-yard line. Stopped about 1.5 yards shy of the marker after gaining 15.
But that was a good, safe pass that time by Patrick Ramsey. You know, he got the ball into the hands of their #1 receiver, their playmaker. I mean, this is, you know, just a little hitch right here. Basically, all the Redskins complete right now is hitches and ins. They really haven't really stretched the field this year, you know, because the protection has been so uncertain from play to play.
Ramsey has completed his first 3 pass attempts today. 3rd down and 1. Portis looks to have the first down.
This is a big battle today. The Redskin offensive line has been inconsistent this year. You know, when the Redskins run the ball well, when Portis runs for 147 yards or more, they win. And when he runs for 70-something or less, they lose. And really, when you can run the ball like that, they control it, they control the tempo of the game. You know, you keep the Eagles offense off. That's what they're trying to do here today. And the Eagles defense has struggled. In fact, they've got their backup defensive tackles in there right now, Hollis Thomas and Sam Rayburn, and these are better players, the Eagles think, than their starters, Corey Simon, along with Darwin Walker.
Rayburn already has 5 sacks this year. Penalty flag.
Before the ball was snapped, delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, as Patrick Ramsey tries to overcome another penalty here for the Redskins, you know, the Eagles are ready to make a change here at defensive tackle because they just think that Corey Simon has gotten fat and out of shape and Darwin Walker has been lethargic. And so those 2 guys are getting more reps right now. And Andy Reid doesn't know how else to send a message to his starting tackles than to play backups. And those guys, Hollis Thomas and Sam Rayburn, either one of them drafted, both of them playing better.
Corey Simon coming off a Pro Bowl season. Portis on 1st and 15. Gains 5 back to the original line of scrimmage.
That's right where the Redskins are attacking right now. Now this Clint Portis, when he'll hit a hole and there'll be nothing there and he'll just stick it in there. He'll stick it in there. He's a patient guy, but I tell you, that hole opens up. This guy has a burst now that can go to the house. It hasn't happened that much this year. First play of the game against Tampa, but he has home run ability.
His first carry as a Redskin went for 64 yards in that Tampa Bay game. Only has 1 other touchdown. Setting up the screen and taken down back at the 33-yard line for a loss of 4 was Portis.
Well, Kearse forced this pass earlier than Ramsey wanted to throw it. Here he is coming upfield. And then watch him chase. Hollis Thomas does a good job right here of slowing him down, and the freak just kept coming. And the biggest plus for Javon Kearse this year is he's been healthy. Started every game for him this year, and this is when he's a factor on 3rd down and long.
On 3rd and 14, pass to the outside. Thrash, who led the Eagles in receiving 2 of the last 3 years, but he picks up only 4, and the Redskins will have to punt.
I said that the Redskins passing game is about hitches and ends. Nothing vertical down the field, and when it's 3rd and 14, you got to take a shot down the field. You're 3 and 6, you got your backup quarterback in there. Stay aggressive. Give him a chance to go make a play.
Your backup quarterback who has a strong arm.
Yeah, take advantage of his strength. Eagles are running everybody up. They've got nobody deep right here. No returner. They thought it was going to be a fake. Watch this.
And it is down at the 1 by Thrash, who's done a tremendous job on special teams. 2 weeks ago, he was the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. A 61-yard punt, a season long for Tupa.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American revolution. By the new Singular, raising the bar. By the United States Air Force, cross into the blue. And by Thank You from Citi, a new kind of rewards program from a card you can count on.
I'll tell you, the Eagles made a mistake here on this last special. That's Westbrook, who's their deep returner. They both came up thinking it was to be a fake, and the result is very bad field position here for the Eagles.
Eagles start from their own 1 as Levins takes it out across the 5-yard line out to the 6.
Yeah, I mean, there's Roderick Hood, there's Dexter Wynn, the other returner. They both come up. They didn't have a fake on. Look at them. They're all kind of confused, turning around and looking as to, I think one of them was supposed to stay back. Either Wynn or Westbrook was supposed to stay back, and they both came up. So miscommunication was the result there of the Eagles getting that kind of field position.
It allowed Thrash to down the ball at the 1. Keep in mind, the Eagles' longest drive this season, 88 yards. L.J. Smith picks up the first down out to the 17. McNabb has still not completed a pass today to a wide receiver. Tight ends have 2 receptions, Westbrook with the other.
Well, the Redskins have a game plan for Terrell Owens today. I mean, they're going to see Fred Smoot. He's going to see Sean Springs. He's going to see combination zones. And then sometimes Greg Williams said, you know, because of the way we're going to blitz McNabb, Terrell Owens is going to be one-on-one. This time he's in the slot.
McNabb with time on first down, incomplete, intended for Pinkston.
That time, McNabb dropped back and wanted to get the ball to Owens, who was in the right slot, and they double-teamed him well. T.O. is looking at it on the scoreboard up there, watching how they sandwiched him.
Owens' numbers Monday night in Dallas. Now has 12 touchdowns this season. Second and 10 from the 17. Levins takes it out to the 19, gain of 2. Marcus Washington made the tackle. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
I'll tell you, Greg Williams, he met with us last night in our production meeting, and he was pumped about this assignment today. He's the defensive coordinator for Washington. He told us a lot of things. He said that the Eagles were the best team in the league at stealing signals, you know, and using signals, not just getting the information. I mean, he put the hot lights under James Thrash and Tim Hasselback, former Eagles, about what the Eagles do in situations. And then they try to use that information, incorporate it in his game plan.
From the shotgun on 3rd down and 8. McNabb airing it out, and the catch is made by Todd Pinkston at the 35-yard line after Smoot fell down. Sean Taylor made the tackle, a 46-yard pass play.
Boy, I tell you, McNabb put a lot of air under that ball. I think it was helium because the thing floated up there. This is just straight speed here. One-on-one, no moves. Smoot sees it. He's running on the inside hip, and that's fair game. I mean, that's just incidental contact right there. Smoot tripped, and Sean Taylor was too late getting over the top. Anybody that thinks this is just a Terrell Owens run offense, they're not seeing that today. McNabb finding other options as they take Owens away.
Play action. McNabb to the end zone, intended for Brian Westbrook.
That time they went deep, and I tell you, the one thing that Terrell Owens has done to Andy Reid, the play caller, is it's allowed Andy to be a lot more aggressive. Anybody following the Eagles this year for the first 9 games knows they've never gone deep this much. This is a big play offense. And look, there's just sometimes you can't double team Terrell Owens. I mean, what you're trying to do defensively, the way they're moving Owens around right now, you get single coverage, you have to look at.
And in reference to McNabb, Owens told us I needed someone to take my talents to the next level.
There is emotion.
From the 35, over the middle. He was looking for Owens.
And he had him, too. It's the first time today where he had him one-on-one. Think about Terrell Owens, Kenny, this is his 9th year in the same offense. He's got a linebacker on him here. It's exactly what they wanted. Lamar Marshall here on Owens. They got the one-on-one. McNabb threw it high. But this is Owens' 9th year. He has been running this offense in his sleep, in the offseason, in the Pro Bowl, in his dreams, in playoff games. There's nothing about it he doesn't know, and he knows how to get open no matter what you try to do defensively to him.
Penalty markers on 3rd down. They played in the same offense for 8 years out in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Before the snap, false start, number 84, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Well, this is McNabb's ritual before a game. He goes through the entire, well, first of all, he gets a little shot from Terrell Owens, loosen him up. Then he goes through the whole passing tree.
Just me and you. Getting
every single route that they're going to run. And what Owens said is he's just not running routes to run routes here. He's envisioning the defense. It's that psycho-cybernetics thing. He's imagining Sean Springs on him, Fred Smoot on him, certain situations, 3rd down. And so mentally, he's playing the game an hour before kickoff.
Here's McNabb on 3rd down and 15. That's taken down from behind. He lost the football. Jermaine Haley with a big hit on McNabb at the 39-yard line. And the Redskins have recovered.
Sometimes you can just try to do too much. And give the credit to the Redskins. They never stop chasing, never stop hustling. And this has been the personality of the Redskins defense all year. Well, I'll tell you, McNabb has done a great job of taking care of the football this year. This is only the Eagles' 8th turnover all year. They came in today tied with Detroit, lowest in the league. But the Redskins continue to create turnovers. They just keep hustling and staying after it.
From the 39, Portis, gain of 2. Tackled by the former Redskin, Jeremiah Trotter.
Well, here's the in sync here. I mean, McNabb holds this ball for about 12 seconds on this play. This is a 2-receiver route, Pinkston and Owens. Pinkston there, covered. Guy you got Pierce in front of him. We got a safety behind him. Tell you, the Redskin defenders must have been working on plastering receivers, and McNabb holding the ball that long. That's the hardest thing in football for a defensive back to do, to be able to keep your coverage and stay close to a receiver.
You think the 14-second play on Monday gave him the confidence to think he could do it any time?
Yeah, and he's done it again earlier today like that.
Pass caught by Gardner out to the 46. Gain of 5, 3rd down and 3. But first, a game break. We send you to Hollywood and James Brown.
Hey, Kenny, it may be the start of the Eli Manning era in New York, but it's been Michael Vick so far. This little touchdown toss to Algie Crumpler. Crumpler's 2nd of the day. Vick 8 of 10, 77 yards passing, 7 rushes for 72 yards rushing. 14-0 Atlanta. Back to Kenny and Brian.
I tell you, Vick is getting good. I mean, he just keeps showing signs of improvement every week, and exciting to watch.
On 3rd and 3, the fake toss, and now flags.
Before the snap, false start, number 45, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's Mike Sellers.
Well, he's got Curse in front of him, and Curse sees him. Curse sees him, moves, points it out. These little chippy penalties are killing the Redskins. You haven't seen the Redskins throw the ball down the field yet. I mean, everything is to the sidelines. Ramsey perfect, 6 for 6. Only 45 yards there. I don't think you can throw the ball to the sidelines here. I think you got to take a shot down the field. Try to pick up the 1st down.
Facing a 3rd down and 8. Redskins have to get to midfield. Ramsey looking for Coles, incomplete.
Well, they got what they wanted. They got their best receiver, Lavernius Coles, against the Eagles' 3rd corner, Roderick Hood. You get an experience factor, but watch the protection here from the Redskins. Pretty good up the top. The Eagles blitz to the left side. Pretty good protection. Thrash slipped. He would have been open too. That's exactly what they want to do. I mean, you know, Patrick Ramsey, third down. I'd like to think that you can complete that one.
Tupa's second punt. It's a good one. Dexter Wynn lets it go. Did it stay out of the end zone?
Nope, touchback. Must have hit the white stripe. Tupa's like, can't you give me one there? I don't think he... Tried to put a little backspin on it, like Tiger nailing it on the green.
59-yard punt. They'll start at the 20.
Not a lot of calls have gone Joe Gibbs' way here in his return to coaching. I think that last one, watch this right here. Tupa's punt hits. Does it actually hit the line here and then bounce back in? Very close to call and a challengeable call.
Eagles start from their own 20. And Westbrook is hit for a loss. First by Antonio Pierce.
James Thrash right here. That ball is inbounds there. Thrash's feet are inbounds in the field of play. Right there, that's a save. Now, whether the ball actually hit the line before that, it's hard to tell from every angle.
On the first angle that we had to look at it,
yeah, that right there, it's good.
It may have on that initial bounce.
Yes. That's what we don't have a good enough angle, declarative angle to show that.
Second down and 12 from the 18. McNabb to Pinkston. Pinkston out of bounds at the 22, a gain of 4. Setting up third down and 8.
I tell you, McNabb has seen the field well today, and the Redskins are doing a good job of taking T.O. away. Now, this time, Sean Springs. Watch Sean Springs right here. So he gets a jam on T.O., doesn't let him off the line of scrimmage. Clean. McNabb took a peek over there and then turned away from him. You don't have to cover him a long time. You just have to cover him when the quarterback's looking at you.
Owens without a catch today. 55 receptions on the year for 884 yards in only 9 games. McNabb, a pump fake on 3rd and 8. He takes off and is stopped 2 yards shy of a first down.
Redskins defense, since that opening drive where they got some help, you know, with some penalties, has really come back. They're taking the reads away from McNabb right now. They're hitting him. They're knocking the ball out. And look, McNabb looks frustrated at this point.
Both Greg Williams and Greg Blosh have done such a terrific job with the Washington defense. Williams, the head coach in Buffalo last year, Blosh, the coordinator in Chicago. And for a 3-6 team, as the fair catch is called for by Thrash, for a 3-6 team to have the second-ranked defense, terrific job by the coaches. Terrell Owens without a catch today. His Eagles lead the Redskins 7-3. Redskins start from their own 31-yard line. Just under 4 minutes to go, first half. Portis turns the corner and is forced out of bounds after a gain of 3. Well, this Thursday, spend your Thanksgiving with an NFL tradition on Fox as the Chicago Bears head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. It all starts at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific with the pregame show as Jerry Jones goes 10 yards with TV. Plus catch a special halftime performance from Destiny's Child only on Fox. Bears and Cowboys this Thursday.
My favorite holiday. Eating and football. Turkey and football. Great combination.
Second down and 7. Here's Portis. Now, how many Thanksgiving Day games did you play in?
I played in a bunch in Dallas. Played in 6 of them. A great way to celebrate the weekend. Play some football, go home and eat some turkey, and have like 3 days off of them towards the end of the season. I tell you, T.O. has seen some great defenses the last month. I mean, he's seen the Ravens, he's seen the Steelers, and he's seen the Redskins. He's been able to find ways to penetrate both those teams. Right now, I think this Redskin team is frustrating as much as any of them.
Third down and 6. Redskins have to get to the 41 for a first down. Ramsey to Liddell Betts, and he has the first. Out of bounds at the 43, a gain of 8.
Good protection that time. at 6-man protection, only 4 guys rushed. Gave Ramsey some time and hit Liddell Betts right in stride. Nice job. I mean, one thing Patrick Ramsey is guilty of is staring down a receiver. He did that to Betts that time, but at least he got it in the right position.
The right guard, Randy Thomas, is shaken up. We'll be back.
There's the injury to the right guard, Randy Thomas. Corey Simon gets on top of him, sits on him here. Ends up in a hurdler stretch. In form right now is Lenny Friedman.
1st and 10 for the Redskins from the 43. Ramsey with time. And he overthrows Darnarian McCants.
Had him. They haven't gone down the field much today. He knows he had the safety split in stride and couldn't find the touch on him. Darnarian McCants coming out of a slot. Boy, I tell you, they got the safety that time. Roderick Hood turned around. Got exactly what they wanted. Good protection. Ramsey last year against the Eagles here threw the ball 50 times. Randy Thomas getting carted off. That's not a good sign.
On 2nd down, this is Betts. And Betts fights his way up to the 49-yard line for a gain of 6. Another tackle by Jeremiah Trotter, his 4th. Timeout is taken by the Eagles. 2:23 remaining. First half. Well, next week, a full day of football begins with America's #1 pregame show as our guys break down the Eagles' dynamic duo of Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens. Plus, find out who goes 10 yards with TB. Fox NFL Sunday returns next week at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox.
Now, is that what kind of moon is that?
Is that a 3/4 moon?
3/4? Yeah. Because the Eagles right now are kind of on 3/4, throttle. And the Redskins are playing their kind of game. I mean, the Redskins never get blown out. 9 games this year. They've had the ball in their hands at just about all of them at the end in their losses, the chance to win it. They've taken the ball out of T.O.'s hands. He hasn't touched it today. I mean, this is the Redskins kind of game right now. The longer it goes like this, the more it favors the Redskins.
They've won their last 2 road games in Chicago and in Detroit. But they've lost 4 in a row at home. 3rd down and 4. Ramsey did a 360 and now finds Lavernius Coles, who has a first down. So the Redskins move the chains, stop the clock. 2:17 remaining in the half. Coles out of bounds at the Eagles' 42 after a gain of 9.
Well, look, it's not an aggressive passing game. I mean, basically all it is just it's a hitch offense is what it is. Let's just throw it right to the sidelines and get as many blockers out here as we can. That's what they do. They get a nice convoy out there. They're not putting a lot of trust in Patrick Ramsey at this point. They're playing it safe, but if it's 7-3, why get foolish with the football right now?
Ramsey 8 of 10, 63 yards. And we have hit the 2-minute warning here in Philadelphia. Redskins driving, down by only 4.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Sprint PCS Picture Mail. It's easy for football fans to shoot, send, and share their own football moments.
2 minutes remaining first half, and for an injury update, we check in with the 3rd member of our crew, Don Tollefson. Don?
Hey, thanks, Kenny. Bad news for that Redskins offensive line. Randy Thomas has a right hamstring injury. He is out for the rest of the game. They had been running the ball pretty effectively, but now changes in that offensive line. Back to you, Kenny.
All right. Lenny Friedman was beat out for the starting center position in the preseason by Corey Raymer, and is the backup center and guard right now, but still a good, effective player.
From the 42, Ramsey with time. Liddell Betts inside the 30. So Betts picks up another first down, a gain of 13 yards.
Redskins packing it in on the protection here. Watch this. I mean, keeping 7 guys in right there, giving Ramsey plenty of time. Only getting 3 out, but They got Betts out of the backfield, a little bit leaky, and the Eagles minus a couple of linebackers today. Mark Simino, Nate Wayne, right there beating Keith Adams on that pass route.
Thrash in motion from the 30. Ramsey looking for Coles, and there's a flag.
Well, it's clear that the Redskins are trying to get a matchup of Lavernius Coles against Rod Hood. And Roderick Hood just got called for holding there.
Holding, number 29, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So another key penalty called on the Eagles defense.
Well, here it is. That right there, I mean, that's flagrant right there out there in the field for the side judge, the back judge, everybody to see. But nice move by Lavernius Coles. Nice change of direction. Looked like he was going to slant, then stemmed it upfield on him.
5 Eagles penalties on 3 of the 5. Their defense has given the Redskins an automatic first down. And that pass batted back by Brian Dawkins.
You know, eventually, I mean, the Redskins try to change the action there. They try to fake pitch right there and then come back and throw the hitch. But eventually, the Eagles have to say, that's the passing lane. The passing lane is horizontal to the sideline. Let's start getting our hands up there and playing volleyball with the ball. I mean, here it is right here. I mean, Dawkins sees it. He can see it from depth right there. Now, once you get that ball tipped up, that's anybody's ball. Good alert play by Dawkins, the veteran safety.
3 wide receivers set. Thrash in the slot. Cole split to the left, Gardner to the right. On 2nd and 10, Gardner makes the catch and picks up a first down. A gain of 14 yards for Rod Gardner. The Redskins call timeout with 1:31 remaining in the first half. Coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league. Plus, the Fox Sports Ticker will bring you up to the second stats. It's all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report.
I think Joe Gibbs likes the efficiency that Ramsey's playing with right now. They're not asking him to do a lot, but what he's doing pretty well.
1st and 10 from just outside the 10. And Liddell Betts is bottled up. Michael Lewis on the tackle for the Eagles. And Joe Gibbs told us yesterday, he said, what has happened over the first 9 weeks, not all Mark Brunell's fault. However, Patrick Ramsey deserves a shot.
Yeah, well, look, the protection broke down for Brunell. The play calling was spotty at times. There was a lot of drop passes, but really, Brunell did not bring what they thought. An elusiveness, a scramble ability, and he wasn't accurate with the football. Less than 50% completion.
2nd down and 9. Ramsey nearly collided with Betts. The throw to the end zone is bobbled and then dropped by McCants. Good effort. Double coverage on the play.
Well, we've seen a couple of mix-ups in the backfield. Just ball handling right now with Ramsey, the new guy in here. He almost runs right into Liddell Betts. Well, he slips, so Ramsey does a nice job of jumping over him. Threw that ball into some pretty tight coverage. So, you know, Ramsey threw 2 interceptions last week against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati had their hands on about 6 other balls. That one was probably ill-advised.
Now 3rd down and 9. Ramsey to the outside to Coles. Out of bounds at the 6.
Here's the problem with that throw, is that you've got to take a shot to the end zone. You know at this part of the field, you're going to get a good shot at the field goal. That's not going to go away. Why not take a shot to the end zone? Throw it to the corner. Throw a jump ball in there. They're all kind of nodding, saying, okay, nothing bad with the ball. You're doing all right. You're doing all right. But, you know, it's not as aggressive as they can be right here.
Perhaps they will be content going into the locker room down by 1. Remember, Joe Gibbs told us last night, this is the biggest game as an underdog I have ever been a part of.
2-touchdown underdog.
24-yard attempt for Kimron. He is now 2 for 2. So With just 42 seconds remaining in the half, the Eagles' lead is just 1. A 13-play, 63-yard drive, culminating with the 24-yard Ola Kimron field goal as the Redskins have pulled to within 1 point.
Yeah, but they've got help by some Eagle penalties today. Lito Shepard holding Gardner on the first third down of the game. That would have been 3 and out. Allowed the Redskins to hold on to the ball on that opening drive, and then Roderick Hood in this last one getting a hold of Lavernius Coles and keeping that drive alive. So both Redskins scoring drives aided today by Eagle penalties.
Kickoff out of bounds. Eagles will start from the 40.
Well, the Redskins have just made, you got to control these things these days after what's going on in the world of pro sports. They clean that up pretty good. Really a couple of errors here by the Redskins. I mean, if you're not going to take a shot to the end zone, you should at least run the ball and at least run more time off the clock, and then certainly not kick the ball out of bounds where the Eagles will take charge from the 40.
And when you talk about the Eagles offense, Eagles with 1 timeout remaining. Remember, Philadelphia coming off a 49-point game on Monday night. They had scored more first-half points than any other team in the NFL. They have just 7 today.
And McNabb threw for 345 yards on 15 completions. Nobody has ever done that since Joe Namath did it over 30 years ago.
Penalty markers on first down.
Now, Andy's looking at this today, and that's what he was looking at practice on Friday.
72 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
How much do you think the Monday night game, arriving back at 6 a.m., had to do with the week?
I think it does have a lot to do with it, but I have seen Andy Reid's practice now for 6 years. In the summer training camp, Fridays, midweek, and that was the worst practice I've ever seen. And I saw T.O. dropping balls. Of course, after practice, him and McNabb stayed after to try to get it right. Snap count, problems, guys jumping off sides. It didn't seem like they had, a little bounce in the step, and it's carried over here in this first half.
From the 35, McNabb complete to Westbrook. Taken down just shy of the 45-yard line by Lamar Marshall. Eagles use their final timeout with 32 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, the Eagles here at 2nd and 5, Akers warming up. Really, the Eagles need to travel about 20 yards here. They need to get to the 35 of the Redskins to be in Akers' range.
His season long is 51.
Look for the Eagles here to work the sidelines. Try to get an easy completion and get out of bounds.
Remember, they have no timeouts remaining. McNabb on 2nd and 5. Lobs it up for Pinkston, and he gets down to that 35-yard line. Clock continues to run.
They've got time to kill it. They got time to get to the line of scrimmage here and kill it. Don't have to rush it. That's not good. That looked like a loose ball. I don't think he ever had a grip of that ball. I think McNabb lined up behind a guard and not behind Hank Fraley. Watch this, McNabb trying. Here's the center. Here's Artis Hicks. Whoops. If you're the center, you're like, I think he's back there.
False start. Number 5, offense. By rule, with the clock running inside of a minute, a false start by the offense requires a 10-second runoff. The first half is over.
That happened to Vinny Testaverde on Monday night.
That's a costly mistake. That's a 10-second runoff. An offensive penalty inside the last minute of a half.
So the Eagles got the ball into field goal range. McNabb lines up behind the left guard, and it costs the Eagles a chance for a field goal.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
All right, as we welcome you to Studio A in Los Angeles, California, Washington Redskins defense doing a nice job against the Eagles. Eagles nursing a 1-point lead.
Eli Manning era has begun in New York. Welcome, says Patrick Kearney. 7th sack on the year for Patrick. Manning goes down. No score at this point. And then the Falcons' first possession. There it is. Algie Crumpler, tight end, Atlanta from Mike Vick. Touchdown pass of 6 yards, 7-0. Out of the eye, play action. Once again, Crumpler, the tight end, 2 touchdowns receiving in the first half. 5 on the year, 14-0. It is Atlanta over New York.
Trent Dilfer with the start in place of the injured Matt Hasselbeck. Seahawks 17-7 over the Dolphins there. Chargers, Drew Brees, a 6-yard touchdown run. 13-7. They're looking to stay tied with Denver in the AFC West. Ravens with a big victory today. Well, they are looking impressive indeed. And the Vikings eked out one, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Tampa Bay offense uncorked big, 35-3. Brian Greasy, an efficient game there for sure. And the Bills, big win over the Rams. Rams now slip beyond who in the AFC West, make that the NFC West?
TV? Right. All right. That's good.
He's studying there. Anyway, Quincy Carter, a little efficient at the quarterback spot with the victory today. Denver, Reuben Jones, big day on the ground, on top, spanks the New Orleans Saints. That's what you were looking
all
for.
day. I've missed it.
Peyton Manning, 4 touchdown tosses. He's got 35 on the season. Your guy, Roethlisberger.
Steelers 19-14. Congratulations. And there you are. McNair back in the ball game. It's 18-15. And then, of course, your Nextel Cup Ford 400 and your champion, NASCAR champion. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Kurt Busch. He finished 5th, but he won it by 8 points over Jimmy Johnson, followed by Jeff Gordon. Congratulations, Kurt Busch, your NASCAR Nextel Cup winner. Don't forget, in 2 weeks, the season will start all over.
That's right, 2 weeks after, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl. It'll be the Daytona 500, which comes your way on Fox February 20th, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
You know, they don't get a lot of time off. That was my point.
Redskins with Ramsey.
Well, a lot of talk about the Washington Redskins, their offensive system, and our crack research department did a study about offensive systems versus the blitz. The best in the league, Indianapolis, 16 big plays against the blitz, and Washington only 2 because they keep everybody in to protect, so nobody's going to blitz them. If you're going to keep them in to protect, we're not going to blitz you.
Wow, that's
you
good
like
stuff.
that? Only
Crack
2 big plays
department.
versus the blitz.
That's good.
Mike Burger.
Terrell Owens with how many receptions?
0.
Some in the local news, others back to the handsome blonde bomber for highlights.
Oh, bless you.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. This is a Fox 5 News halftime report.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Will Thomas.
And I'm Laura Evans. Here are some of the stories we're working on for you tonight. Federal authorities are investigating how 2 men on the U.S. no-fly list were able to board an international flight bound for Washington last night. That flight was diverted to Maine, where the men were taken into custody before the plane finally continued on to Dulles. Officials are telling us the men will be deported. Some finger-pointing going on tonight after the intelligence reform bill failed to get enough votes. Now some lawmakers are blaming a member of the president's own team, saying Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld worked behind the president's back to defeat the measure. Lawmakers still hope the bill will pass this year.
The NBA has suspended 4 players after that Friday night brawl during a game, one of the ugliest in sports history. Indiana forward Ron Artest is suspended for 30 games. His teammates Steven Jackson and Jermaine O'Neal each received 20-game suspensions. Detroit's Ben Wallace got a 5-game ban.
Plus, do you find yourself having a hard time getting some sleep after your weekend off?
Yeah, we've all been there, but there may be a scientific reason for that. We've got the secret to beating your Sunday night insomnia. We're going to have those stories and much more coming up.
Right, including a wrap-up of the Redskins game. So now we're going to send it back to the game. We hope you join us tonight for Fox 5 News at 10. We'll see you then.
The Eagles 8-1, the Redskins 3-6, but at the half, it's the Eagles leading by only 1 here in Philadelphia as we take a look at the first half numbers.
Well, really, you know, that's not indicative. I mean, right now the Eagles have a lot more yards than the Redskins, but it's a 7-6 game right now. So really the Eagles have not been productive. They haven't gotten the ball to the big play guys. I mean, nothing special from any of these guys. Ramsey is throwing the ball to the sidelines. McNabb has made a couple of plays with his legs. Haven't really gotten the ball into the playmakers on either side at this point.
Our fantasy update, one name missing from this list is Terrell Owens, who was held without a catch in the first half.
Yeah, and the Redskins have done a great job of taking him out of this game, and you got to believe that Andy will come back at halftime and find ways to get him the football.
Eagles not in sync in that first half, starting with some early penalties.
Well, when you're mentally tired and fatigued, your feet don't move, and the Eagles' feet aren't moving, and so they're holding and grabbing, and the referees are catching it. You know, McNabb has taken some big shots, 2 big shots in the first half. One led to a fumble. That killed the drive. You know, and then they've taken T.O. out of the game plan here. They've doubled him. Sean Springs and Fred Smoot have done a good job, as they have all year. And then at the end, we're talking about mentally fatigued. Donovan McNabb lines up behind Artis Hicks. That led to a 10-second runoff, and the Eagles were not able to down the ball and thus attempt a field goal for some points right before the end of the first half. Mistakes is what really the story is for the first half of the Eagles. And Andy starts every game with 2 sets of 15 plays that he draws from. And then at halftime, he comes up with a new set of plays. And you got to believe that that first set was already burned, because that didn't do any good. And so him and Brad Childers sat down at halftime. They have a new 15 here to start the third quarter.
Short kickoff by Cameron, taken by Rod Hood. And he's tackled back at the 27-yard line by Pat Dennis. So the Eagles get the ball first here in this second half. First half this season in which Terrell Owens was shut out.
Yeah, and you can believe that he's simmering at this point. And he probably had some things to say at halftime. And he said he's taken a lot of suggestions from T.O. this year. We'll see what they start with here. They've got him in the lower slot here on the first play of the third quarter.
Empty backfield from the 27. McNabb in trouble. Down he goes. Ronaldo Wynn, the longtime Jacksonville Jaguar, with his 3rd sack this season.
Got an injury to an Eagle there. That's Artis Hicks, who was started this year because of the injury in the first week of the season to Sean Andrews. They just love the way that he's played right here at left guard. Job up there against Brandon Noble. Got him stoned. Doesn't look like anything. Oh, that's what happens. Ronaldo Wynn goes right into the back of his legs there.
So the Eagles medical staff continues to tend to Hicks.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
It's not a friendly moon shining down on the Eagles right now. Artis Hicks slips off the field, which is a good sign. A shot to the inside right here of his left knee. Ronaldo Wynn, just don't look at that. It's a good sign that he walked up. Steve Shulo's taking his place at left guard right now. Eagles get thin on the offensive line. Jermaine Mayberry is limping on a bad calf at right guard.
2nd down and 12 following the sack. McNabb in trouble again, and he goes down for the 2nd consecutive play. This time it's Brandon Noble.
Yeah, and they're coming right up the middle. I mean, Brandon Noble along with Joe Salavea right inside here. These guys are pressuring right here, not allowing McNabb to step up in the pocket. They're doing this without a blitz. Andy Reid challenged his offensive line after that dismal showing against Pittsburgh last week on Monday night, and they did a good job bouncing back. Right now, Greg Williams and Greg Blosh there, the defensive line coach, gonna love what he's looking at.
3 sacks today for the Redskins, including 2 on back-to-back plays. 3rd down and 19. And McNabb's pass is caught by Owens, his first reception today, but not enough for a 1st down.
There's even some pressure on McNabb that time. I'll tell you, John Runyon here gets some pressure up, but right here, McNabb, Terrell Owens inside. Good job of coming back to the ball and making a catch, but put themselves in a position, long yards with the sacks.
Burke Johnson's punt takes an Eagles roll out of bounds back at the 18-yard line. Mike Sellers is the injured Redskin following a 50-yard punt. Mike Sellers limping off early second half. Eagles leading 7-6. And for Joe Gibbs, it's his first game coaching against the Philadelphia Eagles since 1992. The Eagles head coach was Rich Kotite. Their quarterback, Randall Cunningham. Running back, Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
And wearing number 62 for the Eagles that day, my partner, Brian Baldinger.
The old Veterans Stadium there that day. I think we clinched the NFC East that day. We had got ourselves a playoff spot that day against the New Orleans Saints. Artis Hicks signed a 6-year contract extension in March, being wheeled off. We take a look at that left knee.
Redskins start from their own 18 following the terrific defensive series. And Portis gains 5 out to the 23-yard line. So Artis Hicks heading back to the Eagles locker room with his 6 sisters in attendance here today.
Yeah, grew up in a household, lost his father at an early age. 6 sisters coming into town to cook Thanksgiving dinner. I hope he's able to get around the table to get to his turkey.
I'm sure he'll get to it somehow.
Well, it'll be delivered. 6 sisters, somebody's got to be serving him.
And the report is a left knee sprain, which is not as bad as it looked initially.
Yeah, at least he walked off under his own power.
Second down and 5. Movement on the line.
False start, number 82. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Been a lot of those today. Been a lot of those all season for Joe Gibbs. And, you know, he has a motion offense, a movement offense where there's a lot of shifting. It's cost him a game this year. Cost him the Green Bay game 3 weeks ago. James Thrash moving at the end of the game when Clinton Portis scored the go-ahead touchdown. Got called back.
Oh, nearly intercepted. It's caught by Rod Gardner and takes it up to the 23-yard line for a gain of 5.
And, you know, the Eagles might get one of these because we've seen Brian Dawkins bat one down, and now you see Sheldon Brown right here in the slot make a play. I mean, as soon as he's looking at the quarterback, as soon as he sees Ramsey turn his hips like he's throwing a double play, they're coming up because that's really the only pass they've been able to complete today.
Now a 3rd down and 5. Redskins have to get to the 28 for a first down. And the pass is intended for Thrash, but he was out of bounds.
Now, if they're just going to throw the ball to the sidelines, you're going to get that. You're going to get wide receivers trying to walk a tightrope here. Left foot steps out.
Got only 1 foot in.
Well, 1 foot out, then he got the other foot out.
So Tom Tupa, who has punted more times than any other punter in the league this season, from his own 13-yard line. From the 24, Westbrook. And Westbrook takes it all the way up to the 39, a 15-yard return, setting up good field position for the Eagles, who lead by just 1. 7-6 Eagles, early 3rd quarter. We check in once again with Don Tollefson.
Real quickly, Mike Sellers, the Redskin you saw hurt a minute ago, has a hurt right toe. He's trying to walk it off, maybe back, guys.
All right, thanks, Don. Eagles start from their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Brian Westbrook, gain of 1.
No, we just saw Westbrook a moment ago return that punt. He hadn't returned a punt all year. Try to take that duty away from him to keep him fresher in the latter part of the season. But I think the Eagles put him back here because they're looking for any kind of a spark right now in offense or special teams.
He took 2 punts back for touchdowns last season as we take a look at Sellers on the Redskins sideline. Second and 9 from the 39. McNabb able to get rid of it, and it's complete up at the 43-yard line for the tight end, L.J. Smith, setting up 3rd down and 5.
I tell you, that time the Redskins brought pressure from the outside, and again they got to McNabb. Marcus Washington, former defensive end in college, jumped right around Westbrook. It hasn't been comfortable for McNabb back there all day. Give him credit for keeping that head up and not flinching with pressure coming in front of him and from behind him.
Eagles drove 13 plays, scored a touchdown on their opening drive. Since then, not much.
Oof.
On 3rd and 5, it is picked off by Sean Taylor, the rookie out of Miami.
Whistle.
And for Taylor, it's his 3rd interception of the season. For the Eagles, their 2nd turnover today.
The guy is a playmaker, and he jumped this out route by T.O., and McNabb was just a little late with the ball. He read it all the way. And for a rookie to read this, here he is right here. He's just going to jump this route. Jumps right in front of Owens right there. He made some crunching hits last week in the game. And this one right here stops another Eagle drive.
Greg Williams told us that Sean Taylor is the best athlete he's ever coached. And remember, he's coached not only LeVar Arrington, but Javon Curse.
Yeah. You got all the tools, the size, the speed, and then the instincts.
Portis hit in the backfield yet again, this time by Sam Rayburn, a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, I tell you, Sean Taylor is earning it today. I mean, his dirty uniform, the pads out right here. He doesn't even notice. He just stopped another Eagle drive. And that Redskin defense, again, getting the ball. I see he's somebody come over. Pat Dennis, who hadn't played out there, got a clean uniform, has got to come over and clean up the dirty uniform. That's the kind of respect you get, though, when you keep making plays the way Taylor has.
2nd down and 13. Pass intended for Gardner. And about 3 Eagles had him lined up.
I tell you, time is right now for the Redskins to strike. And I'll tell you an area of the field where they need to strike, because the Eagles haven't seen it all year. They have not hit a corner route all year. And right now, the Eagles are playing the hitches and they're playing slants. And if I'm Joe Gibbs right now, I'm like, you know what? We got a chance for a little knockout shot here. Take advantage of the turnover. The area of the field I'm talking is here, out to the corners. Been afraid to throw it there all year.
3rd down and 13. Ramsey steps up. There's a penalty marker, and Ramsey is taken down by Derek Burgess at the 37-yard line. But there is a flag.
I tell you, both receivers that were out in the route, Coles and Gardner, both ran to the corner. And I think when Ramsey felt the pressure, he took his eyes off down the field.
Holding, number 52, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
That's Corey Rayburn, the Redskins center.
Well, the Eagles come with some pressure right here. They got Darwin Walker right on him. Walker gets a good push. Oh, yeah, he got the right hand on the back of the jersey there, rides him down. He was looking. Watch Coles here go to the corner. Right to that area of the field. Eagles do a pretty good job of doubling that area. That's the area that is open. Not by much, but there's an opening there.
So it's now a 3rd down and 23. Redskins have to get to the 26-yard line for a 1st down. Instead, a short pass to Betts.
Well, they're playing not to lose. I mean, that's just what they're doing. The defense is getting the ball back. And if you just keep doing this to the Eagles, you're playing right into their hands. You might as well take a shot. As good as your defense is playing, you might as well get aggressive with the ball.
If you take a shot downfield and it gets picked off, it's the same as a punt.
Yeah. Might be better than a punt. Dexter Wynn back there returning this punt this time.
Not Brian Westbrook. Tupa from his own 45. Wynn lets it go, and it rolls into the end zone. Redskins could not keep it out. A 44-yard punt by Tupa. So the Eagles will start at their own 20. How excited is Javon Curse?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Ford. 6 all-new vehicles, each built for the road ahead. by Canon PowerShot digital cameras with the Digic chip. Canon Know-How by AIG for insurance, loans, and retirement. AIG, we know money. And by Miller. There's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Eagles leading 7-6. Eagles led the league in turnover margin, plus 12, but today a -2. They have turned it over twice. One McNabb fumble, one interception, and this pass bobbled and dropped by Smith.
Well, the Redskins defense is played great. No, the Eagles look like they're still in a hangover from Monday night. Take nothing away from these Redskins, because this is how they've played all year, but the offense of the Redskins, not to do anything with the ball after turnovers right now, is what the story has been this year for the team. One of the reasons why they've only been able to score 18 points once all year in a loss to Dallas.
Redskins today, after both turnovers, have gone 3 and out. Well, look at what the Eagles have done on second down today, because they have struggled on third down, Brian, this season, but that's because they pick up so many first downs on second down plays.
Yeah, second down. I mean, that's been their big down this year, but today, first of all, they've had almost 10 yards to go on second down. They've only picked up 3 first downs and nothing big, no big plays. And that's part of what T.O. has done to Andy Reid, is he's made him more aggressive on second down, taking a lot more shots down the field. Owens right here, being guarded by Sean Springs.
Third down and 6, play action. McNabb with time, and the pass caught at the 36-yard line by Freddie Mitchell, his first catch today. And when Freddie Mitchell catches a pass, it's usually for a first down.
Well, I tell you, Freddie Mitchell's in the slot this time, and here he is. Always got his hands up. That's his 11th catch and 10th first down this year. He's done a good job of just finding the open, dead area of that zone.
From the 36, the give to number 36, Westbrook, and he is into Redskins territory to the Washington 42-yard line.
Good block this time by the fullback, Josh Perry, getting Westbrook into the hole. Watch Perry here, into the hole here. Good block there, sealing it. Nice job by Chad Lewis on the backside.
21 yards for Westbrook, and that's the longest offensive play today for either team. From the 43, Westbrook again. Out of bounds at the 37, forced out by Ryan Clark after a gain of 6.
Westbrook looked like he tripped coming on the grass. I think he's okay. I think he almost came out of his shoe. Anytime Westbrook grabs anything, people in Philadelphia kind of grab too. He's worried about his durability. Oh yeah, just tripped on the turf, ended up kicking himself, trying to make that cut. Not good traction. Got to get the winter tires, get the radials out right now.
Just about that time, Dorsey Levitt in for Westbrook. Gain of 2 down to the 35. And now Westbrook checking back in.
Well, Westbrook got off to a pretty good start earlier today, and then really the offense has struggled, with the turnovers and penalties, and kind of backed up a little bit since that opening drive. I mean, their opening drive is the only touchdown that they have today. Only threat they've had today. What was that, 13 plays? I mean, they put it together on that drive. Since then, this Redskins defense is dictating. There's a blitz coming right now from the Redskins.
Third down and 2. First down at the 30-yard line. Brian Westbrook.
Late flag just came out of the secondary. There'll be a personal foul, I think, against Washington.
Looks like it's against Sean Taylor.
Yeah, probably something really unnecessary.
after the play was over. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 36, defense. Forearm to the face of a player. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, it's dummy head football right here. I mean, here's T.O. working on Fred Smoot, trying to throw him out of the way. The play basically is over right here, and there it is. And I'm going to tell you, the one guy you don't want a cheap shot in this league is Terrell Owens, because everybody's looking at him. The referees are looking at him, the fans are looking at him, the quarterback's trying to find him. All eyes are on T.O.
That was ridiculous. The play's over.
Yeah, the play's over. Okay, those are the kind of things that wake T.O. up, get his attention.
From the 15, Westbrook broke a couple of tackles and gains a yard down to the Redskins 14 before he was tackled by Marcus Washington.
Now, the Redskins are doing a good job on Westbrook, but Westbrook looks like he's back from that injury. Looked like he was back from the very beginning today, and you know, most of his big runs come in the second half after he's carried a lot and he starts to wear down defenses. He's still changing gears and shifting right now. Looks like he's back.
Eagles in the red zone, 2nd and 9 from the Washington 14.
There's T.O. and Sean Springs right there in the slot.
Bringing it down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line, the tight end, L.J. Smith.
These two cornerbacks of Washington have carried this defense all year. Here's Sean Springs right here on Terrell Owens. Sticky coverage, hands on him, anticipates the move back into the end zone, inside out. I mean, it's textbook. And right next to him, Fred Smoot, the same thing. Not many teams have corners that are this good in this league. And when you get corners that can cover the way these guys do, it frees up your safeties to do a lot in the blitzing game.
3rd down and 5. McNabb to the end zone, touchdown, Terrell Owens.
Little calisthenics. I guess you can only shut him down so long. You can only have sticky coverage for so long, and then eventually things kind of break down.
Only his 2nd catch today. 13th touchdown reception of the season, which ties an Eagles club record. David Akers adds the extra point. The Eagles have extended to an 8-point lead. McNabb to Owens for the 13th time this season, and some calisthenics and a high five. Well, just 3 plays after that penalty when Terrell Owens was roughed up by Sean Taylor. Owens into the end zone for the 13th time this season, tying an Eagles club record set twice by Tommy McDonald and then again by Mike Quick 21 years ago.
Well, Mike Quick is in the radio booth for the Eagles today, and I've seen a couple of throwback Tommy McDonald jerseys around the stadium today.
Short kickoff taken by Mike Sellers, who was injured earlier. Sellers back in the game and brings it out to the 39.
Take a look at the touchdown here. Right here, you're going to see right there, Owens and Springs. One-on-one, no help for Sean Springs, and that's a hard assignment. No inside help here. Looked like Sean Springs is forcing him inside, thinking somebody might be there. Terrell Owens told us that on his website, he gets thousands of suggestions on what he should do. He said some of them are ridiculous in celebrations. That one seemed kind of mild. But maybe the calisthenics are what's going to be a warm-up here the rest of this game.
No, I wasn't sure if it was calisthenics or head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You familiar with that one, Brian?
How's that go?
I'm not going to sing it for you.
All right, here we go.
No singing. We'll let T.O. do the celebration. Woke up the entire crowd. Energizes everybody. I mean, look, I mean, he gets everybody in the fans. He's like a rock star here.
Crowd chanting T.O. here in Philadelphia. Redskins start from the 38. And the pass is caught by Lavernius Coles for a gain of 5. 13 touchdowns for T.O., 13 different celebrations.
The bottom line from Terrell Owens is he's the hardest working guy here in Philadelphia, and it feels like he earns that right to celebrate.
Clinton Portis into Eagles territory, gain of 13, and Fred Smoot told us yesterday if you don't want T.O. to celebrate, don't let him score.
It's really the league company line right now, if you will. That's what Fred told us the first thing. I said, what are you going to do to T.O.? He goes, look, we don't want to. If we want to stop him from dancing, we got to keep him out of the end zone. They've done a great job for almost 3 quarters today.
1st and 10 from the Eagles 44. Thrash in motion. Play action. Ramsey going deep. Nearly intercepted. Intended for Taylor Jacobs. Sheldon Brown on the coverage for the Eagles. You know, getting back to that Owens touchdown, he beat Sean Springs. It was Springs who was beaten 2 seasons ago in Seattle when Owens then pulled out the Sharpie.
Yeah, you know, and the speculation was that Springs had a Sharpie as well. I asked Sean about that. But, you know, here's a guy like Owens today, frustrated, obviously. No outburst, staying within the framework of the offense, gets his chance to make a play. Little celebration. Looks like he's all about team here today.
2nd and 10, complete the Thrash for a first down, out of bounds inside the 31-yard line as we check in once again with James Brown. JB.
Hey, Kenny and Brian, 16 plays, 72 yards, the numbers on the drive. Eli Manning with his first career touchdown toss. That to Jeremy Shockey, the tight end, 6-yard variety. 14-7 Falcons. Archie Manning approving of his son's move. Back to Kenny and Brian.
Eli with the first touchdown, but I tell you, the new standards set for rookie quarterbacks in this league with the play of Ben Roethlisberger.
Portis down at the 29. You saw the records of the rookie quarterbacks. A combined 11-1. Roethlisberger 8-0. Craig Krenzel of Chicago now 3-1. And the Steelers, of course, the only team to beat the Eagles this season. They did it 2 weeks ago in Pittsburgh, 27-3, and the Steelers will host these Redskins next week.
You're talking about undefeated records. You know, they beat the Eagles when they were undefeated. They beat the Patriots when they were undefeated. Some pretty good teams emerging here as we get ready for a stretch.
On 2nd and 9, this pass is caught by McCants. Do you think Peyton was upset that Archie did not go to the Colts game today?
They're going to have a family issue of how to be in 2 places at once this year. I tell you, the Eagles, if they don't intercept one of these hitch routes today, then they're just not alert, because 1 out of every other pass is a hitch. I mean, you've got to anticipate these things a little bit more than they have.
Will the Redskins get this play off prior to the end of the 3rd quarter?
Nope.
They do not. Only scoring in the 3rd, the 10-yard touchdown pass from Donovan McNabb to Terrell Owens. So after 3 in Philadelphia, it's the Eagles 14 and the Redskins 6. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local Fox station.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
We start the 4th quarter. Kenny Albert, Brian Baldinger in Philadelphia.
Yeah, look at those shoes. That's something for the new era.
Have to keep them clean.
Yeah. Look like they have holes in them.
1st and 10 Redskins from the Eagles 20. And the pass is caught by Cooley. And he's forced out of bounds inside the 12 by Brian Dawkins, a gain of 9.
Well, this is the Redskins kind of game, you know. It's ugly. There's not much offense. They don't allow the quarterbacks to do too much. But Joe said he'd love to be up by a couple of touchdowns in a game this year. It hasn't happened. Feels like this is his best way to win games. Keep it close, play it tight, Try not to make too many errors. Try to create some turnovers.
Second down and 1. Portis. Now, should the Redskins get into the end zone, Brian, is it too early to go for 2?
Yeah, I think it is. I think you just take the points at that point, make it a 14-13 game. You're still going to need to score. All those decisions and a good coaching staff are made before the drive even begins, so that there is no delay after you score, if you do score.
And remember, the 2-point conversion did not come into the NFL until after Joe Gibbs retired following the '92 season. One of the many new wrinkles he has had to catch up to since his return.
Now, I always think that, you know, they always have that chart for 2-point, go for it, don't go for it. I think you just take the points and think that you're going to score more points. I think when you go for the tie, even this early in the fourth quarter, to make it 14-14, you're saying, okay, we're going to hold them and we're not going to score and we're going to go to overtime. I don't think you play for overtime.
Remember what Steve Mariucci told us 2 years ago? There are different charts.
Yeah.
Charts are not all the same.
The coaches always try to correct the chart to measure their thinking.
Penalty markers on first down.
Before the snap, false start, number 67, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
41-year-old Ray Brown trying to get a head start on the play.
That's Joe Bugle. Joe Bugle, the offensive line coach, the coach of the Hogs for years. Back with Joe Gibbs. Back on the carousel, but 4 false starts and a delay of game today will shake up anybody on that side of the ball. Gives the Redskins a little bit more room to work, though, down the field.
First and goal from the 15. Ramsey throws it out of bounds, and there's a flag, perhaps a late hit on Ramsey by Derek Burgess.
Walt Anderson, the referee, had a look at what's going on. Chris Samuel was blocking Derek Burgess, who had good penetration.
Holding, number 60, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Redskins moving backwards. Their second consecutive penalty on an offensive tackle.
Well, the way they're going here, Kenny, the whole 2-point discussion is a moot point. Samuel's here, right here, got his, see the jersey right there? Got the jersey of Burgess outside the shoulder pad.
So the Redskins now all the way back at the Eagles' 25-yard line. Still first and goal. Pass short, intended for Clinton Portis.
Well, I tell you, I was talking to Patrick Ramsey yesterday, and he's frustrated by the offense. I mean, he comes out of Tulane where he was a gunslinger. Last year with Spurrier, he was able to use his arm. And right here, I mean, you got a chance to get to the corner. You at least got to throw it up there. Allow Coles or Gardner to at least go play for a jump ball. At least take a shot up there. You can get illegal contact. You can get holding. You can get defensive pass interference. Allow the rules to work in your favor.
Now second and goal from the 25.
Screen.
And again, incomplete. Again intended for Clinton Portis.
Well, they've completely broken down here. I mean, one play after another. Bad throws, penalties. That's what's plagued this offense. That's why they're the only team in the league that hasn't scored 20 points yet this year.
They've gone 10 consecutive games without reaching 20, going back to last season.
If they've got a trick play in the bag, this might not be a bad time to use it.
Third and goal from the 25. Play clock winding down. And it looks like they did not get the snap off in time.
Well, Chris Samuels also moved at left tackle. He flinched.
before the snap. False start, number 60, offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
The third penalty against the Redskins offensive line this drive, and it now forces them back to the 30.
Well, they've gone from 1st and goal to now, you know, they're 3rd down and 30. And
it was 1st and goal from the 10.
But, you know, your experienced players are making the errors. I mean, there it is. 6 bad plays here from veteran players.
The slant is dropped. Another drop, this time by Rod Gardner.
Brunell giving Ramsey a pep talk here. Trying to keep his head in the game. Hasselback over there.
So Ola Kimron, whose career long is 41, out to attempt a 48-yard field goal. The second native of Sweden to play in the NFL. Remember Bjorn Nittmo of the Giants?
Yeah, well, somewhat.
Kimron from 48, wide to the right.
Well, life is hard for the Redskins. Be a Redskin fan and a Redskin member of the organization is tough.
Still 14-6, Eagles.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. By Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers. And by America Online. Want a better internet? You belong at America Online.
Eagles take over at their own 38 following the missed field goal. Westbrook looking to get back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down by Ronaldo Wynn.
That was what happened once the Redskins got into the goal-to-go situation in the last series. 3 penalties, backed them up 20 yards. 3 incompletions, 2 of them dropped by the receivers. Missed the field goal. Ramsey trying to keep his confidence up here. Defense trying to get the ball back to him one more time here.
Trailing the Eagles by 8. Empty backfield. On 2nd and 10, McNabb's pass tipped. Nearly intercepted as we check in with James Brown.
Hey, Kenny Albert, the suspensions have been handed out for that ugly brawl that all of America knows about now. Ron Artest of the Indiana Pacers suspended for the rest of the season. That's 73 games. Steven Jackson of Indiana suspended for 30 games. Jermaine O'Neal for 25. And Detroit's Ben Wallace for 6 games. All of the suspensions are without pay. Some of the harshest penalties ever handed out. Overall, there were 9 players who've been penalized. Let's take it back to Kenny Albert and Brian Baldinger.
Hey, that's the ugliest thing I've seen in sports in all my years of watching sports. And they deserve the heavy fines and suspensions.
Pinkston down the sidelines, but he was ruled out of bounds back at midfield. Todd Pinkston stepped out of bounds after gaining 12 yards.
Runner stepped out of bounds at the 50-yard line. It's first down.
Yeah, stepped out with his left foot. Andy Reid likes to use the big screen here to take a look at things, whether he wants to challenge something, but clearly he had a couple feet on the white stripe. Good call.
And getting back to the Artest situation, I think what you have to...
Oh, look at the Eagles trying to catch the Redskins in a hurry-up. Flag came out, though. A challenge flag came out.
Do the Redskins think that Pinkston came in from out of bounds to make the catch?
Well, the challenge flag came from the Redskins. Now, was the flag out there before the Eagles got the play up? They hurried the play up.
Washington is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner stepped out at the 50-yard line.
Perhaps challenging the spot.
Yes.
Redskins were talking about it, and the Eagles tried to get to the line quickly. But the red flag did come out prior to the snap. Joe Gibbs has lost his last 4 replay challenges, but he should win this one, Brian.
Yeah, because right here, Pinkston steps out of bounds before the 47-yard line, and he had to get to the 48-yard line to get the first down. Watch his left foot here. Boom, right there, he's out of bounds. Here's the first down marker, and that's where the foot goes out of bounds. He should win this challenge, and it will force the Eagles into a 4th down. It's a good challenge by Joe Gibbs. It helps that he was right on that sideline. Probably had a pretty good look at it. Andy Reid confers with Marty Morningweg on the sideline.
Walt Anderson took a look at it, and the Redskins should win this challenge and force the Eagles to punt.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. With its first timeout.
He said that he didn't go out of bounds.
At the 50-yard line.
Joe Gibbs, when he coached, never had instant replay challenges, and losing 5 in a row, I think he wants to go back to the old days in a lot of things.
But I do not agree with this.
No, I think he stepped out. I mean, I think the evidence was overwhelming that the foot was on the white stripe.
Pinkston should have been ruled out of bounds on the 47. So you and I both do not agree with the call from referee Walt Anderson.
I guess we got 4 bad eyes up here.
So the Eagles maintain possession, a first down from midfield. Redskins lose a timeout, and this pass is dropped by Owens, something we witnessed in practice a couple of times on Friday.
Yeah, and he stayed out after practice to work on the drops. Andy said that he doesn't have naturally good hands, that he has to work on it a lot. He gets the ball machine out there at practice and works after practice and before practice. He dropped a lot of passes in San Francisco for that reason right there, where he felt like he had to make every play, and right there he took his eyes off looking it into his hands and started turning his eyes upfield.
Now 2nd and 10 from midfield for the Eagles. A give to Westbrook. Gain of 1 down to the 49. Just to finish up on the Ron Artest situation, I think what professional athletes in all sports have to keep in mind, if something happens involving a fan, if a fan throws something, you just have to let security handle it.
Yes. Yeah, you can't go in. You can't go in because it's dangerous for everybody else involved. There was a lot of idiots in that stand, you know, that provoked the athletes. But there has to be some level of restraint, and there has to be better security. And in the NBA, the fans are too close to the players. At least here, there's almost like a moat around the stadium where it'd be very difficult for the fans to get to the players and vice versa.
Now 3rd down and 9. Eagles have to get to the 40. Pump fake. Now McNabb throws. And we have a flag. Freddie Mitchell, the intended receiver, got tangled up with Fred Smoot.
Kenny, if it's just the feet that get tangled up, it shouldn't be a flag. If there's hands involved and pushing and trying to get an advantage, that's when they throw the flag. One of the advantages of being aggressive with the football and throwing it down the field is you can get calls like this, whether this is right or wrong.
Pass interference. Number 21. Defense. Spot of the foul. First down.
And that is the first pass interference call against Fred Smoot this season.
On the outside, Smoot's in good shape there. You're saying that his left hand is on Freddie much. Yeah.
He pushed him.
Yeah. Just really trying to keep his balance. He ends up pushing him from behind with the left hand.
29-yard penalty from the 20. Play action. McNabb complete. John Lewis. First down, Eagles.
Wow. It's a telling stat right there. Redskins just hurting themselves in this entire half. Not giving themselves a chance. But McNabb telling these guys in the huddle, let's go. They're trying to be a little forceful and taking charge right there. Good shot.
Pinkston split to the left, Owens to the right. First and goal, Westbrook. Brian Westbrook takes it down to the 1-yard line.
Andy Reid, I tell you, I never seen so many different colors in the rainbow as he puts on that chart. Starts building that chart on Tuesday. Separate area for short yardage, for goal line inside the 2, inside the 1. I think the best play caller in the NFL.
Right here, 76.
Many of the Redskins coaches agree that he's right up there with Mike Martz. Of course, 11. No gain.
Of course, a big part of play calling is execution of the plays. I mean, you can call great plays, but if you don't have great players, T.O. coming onto the field, you don't have great players that execute them, then it's hard to evaluate and hard to judge. Terrell Owens said that he doesn't play fantasy football. A lot of his friends do. He said he'd love to score 3 touchdowns every week. Love to go after Jerry Rice's record. You just get the feeling here at 3rd and even more than a yard. Terrell Owens in the backfield, in motion now.
McNabb to the end zone for Westbrook. Touchdown.
Owens set the pick. Owens set the pick, and Westbrook got the basket. Watch Owens here in motion. Here's Andy Reid's play call. Basically using that body as a shield. Have a natural rub. I mean, right here, you can't get to Westbrook because you got to go through Owens to get to him.
Westbrook's first receiving touchdown this season. The 3rd thrown by McNabb today. 1 to Lewis, 1 to Owens, and now Brian Westbrook. The Eagles with a pair of second-half touchdowns.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Michelob Amber Bach, rich and smooth.
Eagles leading by 15 points. Today's game being seen around the world on Armed Forces Television. We want to send our best wishes to the men and women of the 1st Armored Division stationed in Wiesbaden, Germany. 1st Armored Division has just returned from Iraq.
I'm glad they can get home for the holiday. We're thankful for everything they've done over there. Wiesbaden, just outside of Frankfurt.
Where you've spent many summers over working NFL Europe games.
Yeah, a lot of these players playing here today over there.
A couple of penalty markers on the return of 25 yards.
Eagles got 7 guys on the roster that have played in NFL Europe.
During the return, holding number 48, return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down, Washington, timeout.
All smiles on the Eagles sideline. Terrell Owens playing catch with Coy Detmer.
Not getting enough action today. trying to keep it going on the sidelines. He doesn't throw the ball very good. As many passes as he catches. His arm, I think, needs a little bit of work. Kind of a short motion.
Threw that last one a bit high.
Yeah.
Redskins start from their own 23-yard line. Ramsey over the middle to Liddell Betts. And he's tackled by Keith Adams at the 27. Well, Brian, you told us earlier T.O. does not play fantasy football. How about you?
No, I'm not a fantasy player. But there's a lot of different scoring systems out there. T.O. said that he's happy that people want him on his team. He's trying to get him as many points as he can. One of the leaders in the league through 9.5 weeks of the season, 9 weeks of the season.
2nd and 5. Ramsey gets rid of it, throws it out of bounds. Well, here's how it works. Here's one formula for fantasy football.
Yeah, you catch a touchdown, run for a touchdown, throw a touchdown. It's 6 points. Every 50 yards of passing for the quarterback is a point. Every 20 yards of rushing and receiving yards for a back receiver is a point. And then, they penalize the turnovers. He looks like a fantasy league player. Now, he probably owns a few teams. Those are the kind of guys that are general managers, the guys that wear those kind of hats.
They're down at 5. Ramsey complete the bets. So in essence, you have fans not only rooting for teams these days in the NFL, but for individual players on other teams.
Well, I think with free agency, Kenny, you know, it's been in really almost since Joe Gibbs left the game, that fans start cheering for players, start following players from team to team. So here's an example of fantasy leaders right here. Peyton Manning, you know, with his scorching statistics this year, way up on top. Terrell Owens with some good numbers on closing in on 1,000 yards. And in our league right now, 1 through 10, and that scoring system is all quarterbacks. 11 is Tiki Barber, and then the first receiver is Terrell Owens. So it's a quarterback-dominated league, but there they are. I mean, coming in through today, Peyton Manning almost doubling what Terrell Owens has done.
So there's how it works for the 3 of you who might be watching who are not in a fantasy football league.
Yeah, you know, most people are in more than one league, too. You're looking at that stat page on Monday morning more closely than the coaches are.
It's hard to get a lot of work done in offices around the country on Monday mornings.
I think there's coaches that are in fantasy league teams. 4th down here. 4th and inches.
Ramsey, forced back.
He just got blown up. I know Trotter was getting in the middle of that. And for the 2nd week in a row, the Eagles' defense, run defense, has been outstanding.
Jamal Green playing in only his 2nd game in there as well.
And Trotter is still pumped up. Watch Trotter come to Phil right here. Boom. That was Trotter that got the hit over the top. Perfectly timed. But it's a crazy play in this game. That's hat to hat, clearly, hat to hat. Never call that. Never penalize that type of penalty, that type of hit over the top. It's an inconsistency in the rule. That was Trotter. Trotter saved that quarterback sneak.
Trotter, who was called by Joe Gibbs, who told him, "We're going to let you go." Back with the Eagles, and they're thrilled about it.
Trotter right here has not stopped celebrating since that hit. He's the energy and emotional leader, not of this defense, but of the team. And he said he's just so happy to be back in there. I mean, he was a guy that went to Washington with a big free agent contract, went back out on bad terms with Andy Reid and the Philadelphia Eagle organization, goes down there and on Thanksgiving 2 years ago, blows out his knee against Dallas. His knee is so bad last year in Washington that he's talking about retirement and threatening retirement. But Andy Reid called him up and said, "Hang in there, kid," after the injury, and Jeremiah Trotter never forgot that.
Pass caught by Pinkston down at the 14-yard line. And then Trotter, after he was let go by Gibbs and the Redskins, called Andy Reid's cell phone. No calls got through to Andy all day. He was on a fishing trip in Utah. The only call that got through, did not go right to voicemail, was from Trotter.
Yeah. And so Trotter, who's been humbled, he had to come back here. He begged his way back in. Andy said, "You know, I hate letting any of these guys go. Hugh Douglas and Drew Staley, I hate seeing these guys go. But they all want to come back when they go to someplace else." And for Trotter, it's been humbling. He's come back through playing on special teams, and now he's back in there, and they're not going to get him back out.
Over the top, Westbrook into the end zone. His 2nd touchdown of this 4th quarter.
Third touchdown pass for McNabb today. A 4th touchdown pass for McNabb today. Don't want to get that wrong for any fantasy players out there. 5 receivers in the route right here. Just a little shake right here in the middle against Antonio Pierce. Nice little head and shoulder fake.
It's the 4th time this season McNabb has thrown 4. Touchdown passes in a game. Did it against the Giants, the Browns, and the Cowboys on Monday night.
Very difficult guy to cover in the open field. Matchup headache for any defense.
The Eagles led at the half 7-6. They've scored 3 second-half touchdowns. It's now 28-6 Philadelphia. Odell Betts on the return for the Redskins. There is a flag as Betts took the return 27 yards out to the 30.
During the return, holding number 35, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So another Redskins penalty as we check in with Don Tollefson.
Hey, I'll tell you, Andy Reid at halftime was right on target. He said they got to stop the penalties. Hey, guys, 7 in the first half, none in the second half. He also talked about how tough Donovan McNabb is. After those 2 huge hits in the first half, Donovan wanted to talk about play adjustments. Boy, have they made adjustments as you set up in the booth during the second half, fellas.
All right, thanks, Don. Redskins start from the 20. Ramsey in trouble. Down he goes. Devon Curse, and the crowd chants freak, and that's spelled with a P-H. P-H-R-E-A-K here in Philadelphia.
Well, I think when you're the freak, you can spell it any way you want. Really, the Eagles haven't made too many wrong moves here as an organization under Andy Reid, and you can point to the Redskins. I'll let the song play. I mean, since Donovan McNabb took over quarterback in 1999, the Redskins, all they've done is change quarterbacks. They can't find a guy.
They've used 10 since McNabb took over here in Philadelphia.
Well, Joe Gibbs said that, look, the Eagles are the premier organization in football. It starts with continuity. The coaching staff, the scouts, the nucleus of players that they have, you know, their system of who to bring in. There's some of the quarterbacks. A lot of Redskins fans probably don't want to take a look at that list for too long. Not too much success with any of them.
Third down and 7.
Then today they didn't let Patrick Ramsey do anything with the football as well.
Incomplete, intended for Betts. And Brian, to put things in perspective, the Redskins had first and goal on the Eagles' 10.
Yep.
Earlier in this fourth quarter, they trailed by only 8. 7.5 minutes later, 28-6.
Right. Well, it's just an inefficient group right now, and it's tough. It's tough. Fred Smoot played his butt off out there today. Got a defensive pass interference that went against him. Clinton Portis not a big part of the offense. They shut down the running game today. And the passing game is a horizontal passing game. It isn't meant to stretch a defense or attack a defense.
Big return. Penalty flag. Lito Shepard taking it inside.
They're going to
the
call
Redskins 20.
Yeah, they're going to call Ike Reese for a hold downfield, and he isn't happy about the call. Lito Shepard is pretty good back with the ball in his hands. He took that one back on Monday night, 101 yards.
During the return, holding number 58, return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Philadelphia.
One of the few mistakes. Well, probably the first penalty here in the second half for the Eagles. Here it is right here. I guess he's got a hold of Ryan Clark there.
So that nullifies at least part of the 57-yard return by Shepard.
Shepard was a big-time punt returner at Florida. When they drafted him, they thought, you know, he has that capability. You have a lot of guys with that capability. That's an eagle on top of there? Yeah, you got some wings flapping here in the stands.
Coy Detmer now in at quarterback for the Eagles. Jeff Blake saw some action in relief on Monday night, his first ever appearance in a Monday night game. So now Coy Detmer getting an opportunity
Remember what Donovan McNabb standing next to Andy Reid there? He said that he's Andy's mini-me. That anything that goes wrong, any controversy that goes wrong, he has to go out there and he has to face the press. And he said he tries to outbore the press more than Andy. Andy's boring the press. He gives him nothing. He tries to say less than Andy. There's a competition they have going on amongst them.
Donovan with 4 touchdown passes today. As Detmer hands it off, Thomas Tapei, rookie out of the University of Minnesota, 5th-round draft pick, his 4th carry of the season, and he picks up an Eagles first down.
And looking down there, that offensive line who's played good today. You know, they had some injuries too now. Lost Sean Andrews to start the season, who had a great deal of promise. You know, right now, Jermaine Mayberry is out. You got Alonzo Ephraim at guard and Steve Shula in there.
Billy McMullen in at wide receiver, number 80.
See those guys inside there? Shulo, Fraley, Ephraim, all free agents. None of those guys drafted.
From the 36 to pay again. And he's tackled by Ronaldo Wynn. Eagles have scored touchdowns on their last 3 possessions. Westbrook with a pair of touchdowns today. Owens, only 2 receptions for 24 yards, but he reached the end zone for the 13th time this season. And a terrific job by our entire crew, led by producer Pete Macheska, director Mike Frank, the associate director Barry Landis, broadcast associate Darren Foster, technical producer Dan Rotante, studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy, the associate director Stephanie Medina, the senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers Ed Gorin and David Hill. Penalty marker as Tapei is taken down out of bounds. Thanks to our statistical crew. Eric Merlis, Ben Boba, Rick Camps.
Still second down.
And Robbie Ince-Mikowski. Now we would also like to send our best to the family of Randy Carr, one of our videotape operators. His father Donald passed away earlier this week, so our best wishes go out to the entire Carr family.
Good team effort here by the Eagles. Come out here in the second half and take control defensively. That group right there, Hollis Thomas and Hugh Douglas, all getting in there. Then offensively, you know, taking advantage of the weapons. T.O. getting involved in the second half. Westbrook, who looked good from the beginning today. Looked like he got his burst back. And you know, Andy said that he had a hard time staying on his feet, just getting back in the flow against Dallas. He looks like he's back right now, and they need him as an explosive player in this offense.
Tapei up the middle, down to the 43. Ben Roethlisberger now 8-0 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Peyton Manning, 4 more touchdown passes. Big day for Edgerrin James as well. And Dante Culpepper helping lead the Vikings back to defeat the Lions.
I tell you, this is the best year, I think, for quarterbacks I've seen in a while. Roethlisberger, Manning, Culpepper, that guy right there, McNabb, having his best season by far. Some really outstanding play this year from that position.
Denver's first pass attempt of the season, and a diving attempt by Greg Lewis. Sean Springs on the coverage. Well, the Eagles will travel up the Turnpike next weekend, take on Eli Manning and the New York Giants, and things do not get any easier for the Washington Redskins, Brian, as they must go back on the road next weekend to face the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, Joe Gibbs said that we're going to be underdogs the rest of the season, and heavy underdogs, like he has never seen before during his coaching tenure in Washington.
Redskins hung in there today. They trailed 7-6 in the 3rd quarter. But the Eagles with touchdowns on 3 straight possessions, and Greg Lewis, the intended receiver on that last pass, gets downfield on the punt to down it at the 1.
That's one of those free agents. Jason Short, he's taking on everybody. He's taking on Walt Anderson, the referee. He's taking on all the players. He lost his mouthpiece. That's Andy Reid said that is the toughest player he's ever coached. He said his own teammates are afraid of him.
Nickname is Full Throttle.
Yeah, well, he gets full throttle right here by Mike Sellers. He can't get off him. So he's frustrated. Now he's got to go hit somebody, come back at somebody. Against Cincinnati or against Cleveland, he had almost his entire mouth bleeding, knocked out, eyes rolling in the back of his head, and he was still yelling at people. And Andy's going, Andy Reid's giving him the look that usually Jason Short gives everybody else.
You could read Andy's lips. He said, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, get off the field.
How about that look on Jason Short's face? Pass complete to McCants. Remember what else Andy told us about Jason Short? He plays chess.
Yeah, not with that look, he doesn't.
You never know.
He ain't making any right moves with that look. What is that?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by SBC. Going beyond the call.
Eagles will go to 9-1 with the victory today. A look at their upcoming schedule.
Well, they play the third division opponent in a row now. Dallas, Washington, and then Giants at New York, which is always a good test, division opponent. But I think Green Bay is going to give them their best test here since Pittsburgh. I mean, Green Bay's offense is clicking. Jason Short, I think, has cooled himself off a little bit.
Finally.
Yeah, you know, he got the water bottle, he squirted himself down, took the fire out of his nostrils. Trotter's had a heck of a day. Heck of a week, really. Monday night and then today. He brings a good attitude to that defense.
Pass is intercepted by Ike Reese after it deflected away from Rocky Cartwright. And for Reese, who made only his 5th career start today, it's his 2nd interception this season.
I think what it shows you is great depth by the Eagles, because that's Ike Reese, a special team player and a nickel back, and today, because of injuries to Semino and Keith Adams, he got the start.
He was not letting that football get away.
No. That's just frustration here by the Redskins. I mean, this has been their offense all day. It's not even a dink and dunk offense, because a dunk implies that the ball went down the field. Most of the balls went sidelines, went horizontal today. Chris Samuels.
Ike Reese did not have an interception his first 6 seasons. He has 2 this year. And now the Eagles will run out the clock with under 2 minutes remaining. The numbers on McNabb today: 18 of 26, 222 yards, and 4 touchdowns, matching his career high.
Got started early with the touchdown to Chad Lewis. Perfectly thrown ball down there in a fake. Got Owens involved in the offense. The second half, beat Sean Springs one-on-one. Nice throw and touch there. Now you get Westbrook in a couple of touchdowns. One-on-one with the linebackers, and there's just not many guys in this league from that position that can stay with him. And a whole bunch of chest bumping going on.
In a game in which Owens caught only 2 passes, Todd Pinkston went over 100 yards receiving. 5 catches, 106 yards, 27 fantasy points for McNabb.
I think that's a good day. You know, in our league, the way we score, you got 6 points for each touchdown pass. You got a point for his rushing. You got 3 points for his pass, 4 points for his passing. Then you got to decline 2 points for the interception. But, you know, a day without T.O., you know, the other guys picked it up here. Westbrook, Pinkston. And McNabb has been saying all along, if they take one guy away, they can't stop this offense. Because really, the best part of this offense, if you play man or zone or combination, these plays work against every defense.
So the Eagles will win their 6th in a row against the Redskins. 9-1 this season. This their 19th win in their last 21 regular season games. While Joe Gibbs' Redskins dropped to 3-7. The Eagles now 9-1. So the final score: the Eagles 28, the Redskins 6. For Brian Baldinger, this is Kenny Albert saying so long from Philadelphia. Now to Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, and Chris Collinsworth at the...
It's Week 11 of NFL Primetime. The Manning brothers in the spotlight. Peyton chasing Dan Marino's TD pass record and catching up back. Eli takes the reins for Big Lou. While Big Ben runs into some big trouble in Cincy, Drew Henson's Dallas debut caps a day of frustration for Tuna in Baltimore. Broncos and Chargers tied in the AFC West. Denver lays it on early in New Orleans, while San Diego looks to blow out the Raider Nation again. in the NFC East. Would it be another romp for Philly, this time against the Skins? It's an early football feast on NFL Prime Time.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to NFL Primetime. Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. We're early, but it's better to be early than late from all of us. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving out there. It's a thanks of sorts to some of these ball clubs. We try to sort some things out here. Crunch time now. Crunch time.
Well, yeah, crunch time, and a lot of teams giving thanks that they had a chance to walk away today with a win. Didn't look that way the whole game.
You know what? One of the divisions, the NFC Norris, a division in which 4 teams are within 1 game. That includes Eddie Drummond and the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. So why would we show Drummond? Well, 2 punt returns in the 4th quarter last week. Opening kickoff, and he could go all the way. Jose Cortez, number 1. I don't think he's going to get. Are you kidding me? He returned. My goodness, he is now tied NFL record. More than that in a moment with 4 returns. He's this year's Dante Hall. 4 kick and punt returns this season. Dante Culpepper right back to Jermaine Wiggins from
East Boston.
And watch this. 2 out of 3 falls to curfew, and boom. He's for the pin, for the knockout. We're tied at 7. So Cortez goes, we're going to pooch kick this from now on. And so as the result, they get it up to the 40 that way. Lions good field position down to the 1. Joey Harrington, play action to his tight end, Steven Alexander, touchdown, 14-7 Detroit, who's had trouble scoring. Then, defense Detroit. Corey Redding tackles Ontario Smith the day they play the Grey Cup. Ontario sacked for a safety. 19-7 Detroit. But I like this. Dante Culpepper leadership gathers the offense around. Let's get going.
And I don't know if that's something we would have seen a couple of years ago. Now he's the leader of that football team.
And here's what you're seeing here. A 16-play drive culminating Culpepper to Nate Burleson. They go for 2. They get it. 19-15 Detroit lead. Then, 3rd and 12. 6.5 left. Culpepper looking for Larry. Looking for Curly. Finds Mo. Mo Williams. Down to the 1. First down. And then, it's a touchdown by Mo. And it's 22-19, the Vikes. So Detroit now trailing. First time today. Joey Harrington picked off by Antoine Winfield. And the Vikings spot the Lions a large lead and come roaring back and win it by the count of 22-19. So Minnesota snaps their 3-game losing streak. Detroit has now lost 4 in a row going into Thanksgiving. And Joey Harrington, 12 in 1991. Watch.
You know, it just looks like Joey Harrington is regressing as the season has gone on.
Here's a guy who's not regressing as the season goes on. If you think of the 2 punt returns in the 4th quarter last week that Eddie Janitor in a Drummond had against Jacksonville, they played a little overtime in which the Lions lost the game, and then the opening kickoff, which just took a matter of mere seconds today. Now check this out. 18 minutes and 47 seconds, and this guy is
pretty good.
This guy's pretty darn good. Meanwhile, other side of the congratulations to him, but Detroit not getting the wins. Minnesota, hey, they can win this division. They can win it 6-4.
Well, and you got Dante Culpepper working without his best weapon in Randy Moss, and I thought he did a great job today of spreading the ball around. 7 different receivers, 22 of 32 for 233 yards passing the football. And I think that he understands clearly if they're going to get to the playoffs, he might have to do it for a while. You know, I don't know whether aggravated hamstring, whatever it is, he might have to do it without Randy Moss. And so I think the football team is getting you used to that. And I love the animation on the sideline where he took control of the football team. Let me tell you what we have to do in order to get a win.
Well, and again, they snapped the losing streak, and so Minnesota's played well the last couple of defeats, but that's not good enough. Now they almost lost this one. Now they roll. They're back to the Vikes at least for 1 week. Now, when we return, Donovan McNabb and the Eagles, we saw their response Monday night after their first loss. How would they do against division foe Washington? Donovan spreading it around. And Ben Roethlisberger, he's running real fast because the Bengals had him running real fast. But Ben Roethlisberger wins his 8th straight game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll be right back.
NFL Primetime.
Presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. The Arizona Cardinals could be 500 at Thanksgiving. Dennis Green's squad has been hot lately, but Dennis decided to change a quarterback. More on that in a moment, as is the fullback Casey Kramer blocking for Nick Goings. And Goings, he could be Goings all the way. So Carolina down to what, their fifth running back, 57 yards for a score, and Carolina leads Arizona 14-0. Sean King starting instead of Josh McDowell. And King's pass tip picked up by Colin Branch, and he could go all the way. Oh, down to the 1 line. But they got it in, and Carolina goes on to slice and dice Arizona 35-10, Goings at 121 yards. So tears of McDowell benched.
Yeah, and you know that questions are going to be asked of Coach Green, even though Sean King threw for 343 yards, the touchdown.
Garbage
3 INTs are going to stand out. You won 3 out of 4 games. You made a change at quarterback.
Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers. Here is their highlight. Bad news for them, it's a punt. Andy Lee punting for the Niners in Tampa at the new Sombrero. Look at it, keeps goings and goings and going. 81-yard punt. But unfortunately, you can't score on a punt. Canada, you could.
And they would punt again?
No, they would punt again. Meanwhile, Tim Rattay picked off by Torrey Cox. Very quickly, 55 yards for the Bucs. So Rattay picked off and watched the block here.
Yeah, Simeon Rice come back and throw a great block on Justin Smiley, who wasn't smiling after that block, lifted him right off his feet. But, you know, Tampa Bay playing with a lot of enthusiasm, and Brian Greasy leading the pack.
So on this one, Tom, great defense, Tampa Bay. I know they're playing the Niners, 35-3, holding them to 197 yards. They had 5 sacks. Good news, Joe Jurevicius. Remember what a clutch receiver he was the Monday night? He scored 2 touchdowns. First time he's been in the end zone since the Monday night opener a year ago in Philly. He's had a tough run back.
Great story.
And the Niners' worst start since 1979 at 1-9 since I took over the team then and things got better. Peyton Manning, he can't get much better than him. How many touchdown passes for him? Curtis Martin running for the record books, and the Jets trying to run with the clock. Could they win in Cleveland?
Chevrolet Fantasy Ticker is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution.
You can take your pick with the numbers of the Indianapolis Colts. One of them, only 9 teams in NFL history have scored 500 points in a season. They're on pace. Peyton Manning, 31 touchdown passes. You know the record. Touchdown passes in the year. Dan Marino, 48. And on we go. What kind of stampede will we see today from the Colts going into Chicago? Has played some good defense, that's for sure. So there's Peyton, 31 TDs in 9 games. So what happens first possession? Marcus Pollard with a little dink and then a dunk. And it's 7-0 Colts that quickly. In Chicago, a team that's played well, but a team that has trouble scoring points. You already have them on their back heels, although twice, Tom, Lance Briggs had a chance. And then with the Bears down 7-3 on the following kickoff, they had another chance, and Chicago's been so opportunistic on defense and special team. Dominic Rhodes, it's a fumble. Todd Johnson, and he can't grab it, so it's Colts ball.
Yeah, you try to fall on the football, get possession, don't try to pick it up and take it anywhere.
And so as we look back at it, that was really their only shot. So Manning makes the Bears pay. Reggie Wayne, stately Wayne, pretty pass, you think?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Not 14-3 Colts. Edgerrin James. You kind of forgot about him a little bit. Twist. Look at this. Whoop! And look at the whoop! And then here's another move, and he goes, whoop! This is the Edgerrin James that we remember. Big day for Edge. After the Bears lost the fumble deep in their own territory. Can't do that with this team. Manning to Marvin Harrison, touchdown, 24-3 Indianapolis.
Yeah, and you watch the corner here. He gets threatened in the flat by Edge right there. He comes off the coverage too soon. Safety can't get over. Easy pitch and catch for Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning.
27-3 at the half. This time, 20 27 yards to Wayne. Manning, his 4th touchdown pass of the day. 34-3 Colts. Then Edger and James. Now we should point out that Edge, that's the last of his 23 carries for 204. They win the game, obviously going away 41-10. Manning sat almost the whole 4th quarter. James did the same thing, and they put up this bunch of numbers. The Indianapolis Colts now, as a team, have scored 339 points in 10 games. And, Tom, here it is. I mean, just look, I know the pace thing is, but Dan Marino threw 10 games in which he threw 48 touchdown passes in 1984, had 29 TD passes. Peyton, 35. How many is he going to get?
Yeah, I think he's going to score well over 50, 52 plus. But when you look at the weapons, when you look at Pollard, Clark, Reggie Wayne, Harrison, Edgerrin James, he's got more weapons maybe than anybody who's ever played the game.
So the Colts have won. They began the day tied for first with upstart Jacksonville. Once upon a time when Steve McNair was playing all the time for the Titans, and he's missed some games this year because of an injury he suffered earlier in a loss to Jacksonville. The Titans used to own the Jags. And like the old days, McNair to Derek Mason, that's what we remember. 10-3 Titans in Jacksonville. But Jacksonville, game as they've been all year. It's come back 13-10. And look at Deke Cooper make a great play and keep the ball. They finally down at the 4. And so what happened?
Yeah, faulty blocking scheme here. Greg Favors going to come off the edge. McNair backs up right there, gets himself in the end zone. He is hit untouched by Favors. That's going to be a safety.
And so the score now 15-10. Jacksonville, God, they make some big plays in the 4th quarter. On 4th and 1, McNair to Aaron Kinney. They throw for it 21 yards plus a face mask flag on the Jags. Then Antoine Smith. Remember him a few years ago? Patriots, before that Bills. Antoine Smith, the big back now with Chris Brown hurt on this day. Smith had 95 yards, and so it's 18-15, and they go for 2. Look at McNair. He pulls in, barely gets in, 18-15 now on a 2-point conversion. Last chance, but Byron Leftwich watches as David Garrard, not the same magic as Leftwich, at least not on this day. Rich Gardner picks it off, waters the plants, and McNair and the Titans win a big game. I know they're only 4-6, but you never know. They stay in the hunt somewhat. Tennessee 18, Jacksonville 15. Earlier this year was 15-12. I think these teams slug it out.
Yeah, not great numbers for Steve McNair, but I think we all have to realize how he's gutting it up to get out on the field and play. I can't imagine that he's not hurting every single play of the game.
And so Jacksonville falls to 6-4, game behind the Colts. The Jets, Herm Edwards, under fire. The Jets, for them, blowing a chance to maybe win the game at the end last week against Baltimore, settling for a tie because of clock problems. Early on, Quincy Carter and the Jets had Browns problems. Cleveland Browns problem. Tom, he was sacked 5 times early.
Yeah, you see 3 men coming from the left side. It's 3 versus 2. They bring more men, and you have a chance to block, and they pin Quincy Carter in the pocket. I thought they really did a great job of getting upfield, the ends, whoever was rushing, making sure they didn't give him any lane to the outside, pinning him inside, and getting the sacks on him.
5 sacks first half, 6 in all for Cleveland. Meanwhile, Jeff Garcia under pressure for the Jets. Throws it away. Sean Ellis drives him to the ground. Garcia would leave with a strained right shoulder. Kelly Holcomb would take over just before the half. Now, Phil Dawson had made 27 straight field goals, but he missed not only once for Butch Davis, but with the score of 7-3 Browns in the 4th, he misses twice. So the Jets, needing breaks, a tough spot on the road, get rare misses from a normally reliable kicker. Even the mascot, what? Then the Jets, later 4th, Curtis, my favorite Martin, picks up a first down, and oh, by the way, he rushes for 1,000 yards for the 10th straight season. Oh, by the way, he passes the great Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett for 6th all-time. Congratulations, Curtis. Then, Quincy Carter, Justin McCarron. We just saw Tennessee. He made big plays for them. Now he's making big plays for the Jets. First down. Look at McCarron's make the move on Leon. Touchdown. Carter hits him with a touchdown. 5.5 to go. The Jets lead at 10-7, and they go on to win it by that score. Dawson, we said normally reliable, not on this day. And a big win for Herm Edwards' New York Jets as they win at 10-7. Martin, 88 yards. That 1,000 yards makes 10 for 10 in his career. Only he and Hall of Famer Barry Sanders began their NFL career with 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Now, the other thing on Martin is, so we go inside the numbers. We told you now with 12,741 yards, he is 6th all-time rusher. We told you Martin and Sanders began with 10, Walter with 10, Emmitt Smith has 11. So this is the type of player and the type of effort you get from Curtis Martin, as we know. And Tommy, when you lose a tough game at home and then go on the road, that may be the toughest spot, and look what the Jets did. Wasn't pretty, they won.
Yeah, we saw it a couple of times this year already. Seattle lost to the Rams. They went on a bit of a slide. You know, Indy was at home against the Jags. They lost that game. They went on a bit of a slide. I know that was a concern for Coach Edwards. We're going to a tough place to play. Cleveland, we're going to have to play a good, solid football game, but I think a lot of times it's beyond the stats, it's beyond scheme. It is all the way down to mindset, and I don't think there's anybody who does a better job of getting his team in the right frame of mind than Herman Edwards. He did that. They got away with a win. You know, they got a couple of breaks in terms of the special teams, but they got away with a win. Now you get back on the right track going down the stretch.
And so the Jets back in the win column at 7-3. We got plenty more to show you. Week 11 of NFL Primetime. Don't want to go anywhere because Drew Henson had a chance for Dallas, albeit late against Baltimore. How did that go? Well, there's a preview. And speaking of guys passing Tony Dorsett in milestones, Jerome Bettis, the bus, just pulling into the passing lane. Although the Bengals made it rough on Big Ben.
Inside the Numbers. Brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
Seattle Seahawks begin 3 straight home games against the Miami Dolphins and the Dolphins on the road. They stayed at the Bates Motel. Hopefully Janet Lee, Jim Bates is their new head coach, at least for the rest of this year. And the new quarterback today for Seattle, Trent Dilfer. And there's their new wide receiver, Jerry Rice. Career touchdown catch, 195, total 206. Early on, A.J. Feely pressured Antonio Cochran. Picks it off. Feely helped off the field. Jay Fiedler in briefly, but Feely playing back in the Pacific Northwest, where he played in Pac-10. He hangs in and he throws to Chris Chambers. And look at this play by Chambers. And the Dolphins down 17-7. They've won only once all year. They are game. And Feely, you can just feel the pain, down 17-14. But then, Feely, gimping, almost like John Wayne. 25 yards to Darius Thompson. I mean, the pain is just so much. And then, Olindo Mare with 2:20 to go. Ties the game at 17. Are you kidding me? Jim Bates, A.J. Feely, and the Dolphins are going to go into Seattle and win. Minute 5 to go. It's Michael Boulware. He could go all the way. Touchdown. And then Feely picked at the end in one last gasp. He was game, going back up like we said. He'd won there as a Kegel. He'd played in the area, playing in the Pac-10. But Seattle looked like Miami wanted it more. I got to say it. But Seattle won the game 24-17.
Give Feely a lot of credit for going out there and playing hurt. And what a tremendous loss. I know you don't speculate, but what a tremendous loss this would have been for the Seahawks. And they need to play with a bit more enthusiasm throughout games.
And Trent looked a little rusty, but it was good to see Jerry Rice in the end zone. Meanwhile, Drew Bledsoe, Buffalo Bills, beaten badly last Sunday night at New England. And Bledsoe has a new target. It's his tight end, Mark Campbell. Against the St. Louis Rams at home, it's 19-yard touchdown. Bledsoe to Campbell 3 times today. Handoff to Willis McGahee. Tricky Bills. Back to Bledsoe. To Sam Aiken. Puts an Aiken on the Rams. Flea flicker, 54 yards, sets up a Ryan Lindell field goal. 17 all at the half. And then third quarter, Bills special teams. They really have been outstanding all year. Sean personal Landetta will punt. Jonathan Smith wears F. Smith on his jersey because he wants to be called Fred Smith. Look at the moves. 53 yards down to the 5. Sets up a Buffalo touchdown. They have the lead 24-17. Later third, Landetta putting. Nate Clements, the starting corner. Pretty good kick. Clements at his own 14. Whoop! then up the far sideline, gets a block, and I don't think Lendetta's going to catch him here. He could go all the way. Bills special teams, 86 yards, 31-17 Bills. From there, Takeo Spikes. Watch two strange interceptions here, Tom.
Yeah, Takeo Spikes is going to get the arm tip right there, ball deflected in the air. He also is the guy who brings the ball down.
Now remember that and watch the Bills play more defense. Marshall Falk, Aaron Schobel. Falk, 6 yards on 13 carries. And watch the keg. Sam Adams, doink, bats it, doink, and Sam gets it. Beer for everybody. Sam Adams, the big guy in the middle. And so the Buffalo Bills hammer the Rams 37-17. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. St. Louis Rams are down today. 6 sacks for the Bills, 3 interceptions, a fumble against Bolger. So Buffalo with a huge win, St. Louis with a head scratch.
And two things strike me about this game. Number one, you couldn't get pressure on Drew Bledsoe. You leave him standing, he's going to pick you apart. Sacked only one time today. Rams special teams, a problem for them throughout every year the last 3 or 4 years because of their final roster. Don't keep enough linebackers, people who can play special teams.
And the Rams are now 1 behind Seattle in the NFC West, even though they've beaten them twice. Cowboys, Ravens. Cowboys up there Monday night, downer against Philadelphia. Speaking of downer, Jamal Lewis, second carry of the game. And left ankle injured. He stayed on the sideline, second half in Jersey, but did not return. A low score and 3-0 Dallas lead at the half. Now, third quarter, everything changed. Bowler to Darnell Dinkins. There's the dink, and here's the dunk. And so Kyle Goose move. It's 7-3 Ravens. Then, next possession, 1st and 10, Testaverde. Oh, boy. And you know who's back there. It's Ed Reed. Every game he makes a big play. And Bill, I would call this seared ahi.
Yeah, he's certainly unhappy with the play of the quarterback, Vinny Testaverde, at that point.
And Tom, here's Kyle Bowler to Kevin Johnson. Flag, it's against Dallas. He's wide open. Touchdown, 14-3, Baltimore. Then, Vinny, back to pass. Hanging Chad Williams. Gone. 44 yards, 24-3 Ravens. Vinny shaken up on the play, and now it's the youngster Drew Henson in. How would he do in his first play in the end? There's so much excitement. You've dreamt about it all your life. I'm in the NFL. I get my first snap, and here's my first play from scrimmage. I don't think he dreamt this. Boom! Ball loose. Marcus Douglas makes the hit. Terrell Suggs falls on it at the 1, setting up a Chester Taylor touchdown. Next possession. A little better at the other one. Henson to Jeff Robinson. So a glimmer of hope there, but a huge second half Baltimore. I got to say this. Now, Brian Billick and the Ravens have done a pretty darn good job. They've won 5 of 6. The team is 7-3. Remember, they're the only team to beat Pittsburgh, and they sit on Dallas 30-10. And 3 straight games without interception for Bowler, and another head scratch.
They're going to get some people back, and they're going to get some people healthy, and I think that Kyle Bowler is starting to gain some confidence. This is the thing maybe that Coach Fossil, who's working with the quarterbacks, maybe this is what he was looking for him to begin to get some confidence.
I know injury is going to play. Remember, Dallas plays Chicago on Thanksgiving. We'll see how Vinny is, and on a short week, does Henson get a start? Maybe due to injury he has to, but we shall see as we move ahead on the very short week. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, is there anything Ben Roethlisberger can't do? He's won his 7 starts as a pro. He's won his last 13 starts when he was in college at Miami of Ohio. Do the math. That's 20 straight wins starting as quarterback. Today, the Steelers down the road in Cincinnati to play the Bengals. And here we go with our prime cut. Miami of Ohio, not that far from Cincy. And how about the bus, huh? Jerome Bettis. Now 3 straight games starting with Deuce Staley out again. Needs 6 yards to pass Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett began the day in 5th place, and he ends the day in 7th.
Passed by 2 guys the same day.
Martin and Bettis, the bus with 11 yards there. He now has 12,863. But the Bengals brought the heat on Big Ben. That's Dwayne Clemens and Landon Johnson. Here's Clemens again, Tom.
Yeah, this front 4 put a lot of heat on. They did a great job, again, of pinning him in the pocket, not letting him find the exit lanes. They're the first team really to be able to do this to him.
They sacked him 7 times. Meanwhile, Carson Palmer. How about this catch? Chad Johnson, 36 yards. You know you're going to see that in the end zone. 7-3, the Bengals, who are ready, and Bill Cowher knew that since he would be a big-time test. Hines Ward drilled by Keywan Ratliff. Plexico Burris hurts a hammy on the same play. Boy, the two wideouts get plunked on the same play. Plexico didn't return. Palmer, though, picked off by James Ferrier. Once again, Steeler defense coming through with a score, and it's 10-7 Pittsburgh. Next drive, Palmer. TJ, you say Hushman Zeta, I say Hushman Zata. And we say 20-yard completion. Palmer to Kelly Washington. He's a good receiver.
Yeah, Kelly Washington's a good receiver. He's got really good size. You can see how big he is right there. And if they have guys who have to come to the forefront in this receiving core, he's going to be one of them.
So Palmer 4 for 4 on the drive after the interception. Roethlisberger. How about this ad lib to Jeremy Tooman? Roethlisberger playing under control, even though he's been sacked 7 times. 26 yards. There. 2 plays later to Dan Kreider, the fullback from New Hampshire. Touchdown, 17-14 Pittsburgh. Under 3 minutes to play, as they did the first game, the Bengals hanging in until pressure. Palmer, oh no, I better back, and that's just grounding, and you're in the end zone, and that means a safety. And so, a very interesting 2 points takes it from 17-14 to 19-14, and Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger struggled, but they win. He's 8-0 as a pro starter. They win by the count of 19-14. Pittsburgh Steelers once again. Time of possession, 39 minutes. To the Bengals 21. I mean, every way, 39-21. Yeah. Even though Ben,
40, 41, 42.
Even though Roethlisberger saw some things, didn't he?
Well, I think that we knew at some point he was going to struggle, but this is the kind of game that if you're a Steeler, if you're Coach Cowher, you're just glad to get out of here with the win when he didn't play so well. Got a lot of pressure all day. Ben Roethlisberger, 15-21, 138 yards, but 54 yards on the 7 sacks that he suffered. So as you watch this, you see he's looking for the exit lanes out of the pocket. He's being chased down by the Bengals, and I think for the Bengals, they will look at the fact that their defense got better. Did some things well. Dan Kreider, the fullback, comes in motion. He's going to go on a flat route. The receiver at the top of the screen going to run people off. He gets to the flat. This is pretty much a perfect throw. Brian Simmons in coverage, and you see him get in. And I think the next play really exemplifies the Steelers. A play you wouldn't notice, really, Jerome Bettis is going to miss his block on a blitzer. You've got the quarterback, Roethlisberger, looking left, but he feels the pressure. You've got now the bus gets up. Give me a place to throw the football. Yes, it goes for a short game, but I think when you look at that play, what you really see is what makes this team so great. We are working as hard as we can to help the next guy. Big Ben, yeah, I missed the block, but I'm back up. I'm going to help you make a play and make something positive out of it.
So Pittsburgh 9-1. They did that in '78 when they won their 3rd Super Bowl. And how about this? Bettis, 3 starts, 381 yards rushing, and he's now 5th all-time in rushing. But Tony Dorsett from 5 to 7. I mean, that's
in a day.
That's a time.
In a day. Tough day.
He didn't do anything wrong. So the Pittsburgh Steelers keep on trucking. 2 road wins at Cleveland and in Cincinnati after those 2 big beating of the undefeated teams. When we return, can San Diego off a bye keep it going? Drew Brees has been hot. And would Eli Manning star in his first start for the G-Men? They were playing 7-2 Hotlanta. Sunday Night Football here on ESPN. One of the hottest teams in the NFC, the Green Bay Packers, have won 4 in a row behind Brett Favre in Houston to face David Carr and the Texans. With highlights, Steve Levy.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, the Packers and Texans. David Carr up against his idol growing up. That's Brett Favre. Very first play of the game. Amon Green, 7 yards on the draw. Green would suffer bruised ribs on the play. He'd try to return, but re-aggravate the injury. He'd have to leave the game. Second quarter, Packers had a 3-0 lead. Our Visa Skycam play of the game. David Carr rolling, finding Dominic Davis. Carr was 13 of 26, $164, and that touchdown. Brett Favre lobs the deep ball for Driver, fingertip grab. Driver had 10 catches, 148 yards in that score. After a Ryan Longwell field goal tied it at 13. 37 seconds left. Favre to Antonio Chapman for 11. Longwell hoping for a shot. 2 plays later on 3rd and 7 now. Favre hits Driver along the sideline. Does not get out of bounds. The clock still winds. Favre chases the referee down to get a timeout. Favre was 6 of 7 on the last drive.
The only incompletion when he spiked it to stop the clock. Longwell. The kick is up, and it is just good. And I mean just good. Check it out again. Just inside the upright in the kiss. 32nd time. Favre leads a come-from-behind win in the fourth quarter. And the Packers win in dramatic fashion.
Sunday's NFL action on ESPN gets wicked next week as Warren Sapp and the Raiders try to take down Jake Plummer and the AFC West leading Denver Broncos. That's next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right after NFL Prime Time. Speaking of, let's get back to Boom and TJ.
There have been many surprises this year, but maybe the top of the list, the San Diego Superchargers. The Chargers begin the day tied with Denver for first in the AFC West at 6-3. They're at Oakland, who they drilled 3 weeks ago. Antonio Gates, there's no stopping this guy.
Every game, red zone, he's going to throw the Gage.
So 6 that the Chargers missed the PAT. Then Drew Brees says, I'll take it myself. Summer breeze, make me feel fine. 6-yard touchdown, 13-0. Lightning bolts. The Raiders scored to make it 13-7 third quarter. Kerry Collins to Jerry Porter. And here's, remember Randall Godfrey's played for years in Seattle? Oh! What a big hit for Godfrey. And Ben Fat Lieber picks up the loose ball. So San Diego's defense, Godfrey, Lieber, they've been unsung heroes this year.
You know, rule right there, don't ever cut back inside of the field and start working your way back toward the line of scrimmage.
Kading with a field goal, 16-7, but then here come the Raiders. Collins to Teo Johnson. Deo. It's 16-14. But LaDainian Tomlinson, he's still playing hurt. You can see him gimp at the end, but he single-handedly crushed the Raiders in his career, 23-14. Collins, Doug Gabriel, here come the Raiders, 8 minutes to go, but flag on the play. Illegal block, Oakland, and it's Robert Gallery, their number 2 pick overall. And call for an illegal block on Sean Phillips. He's got a heck of a Norv calling that, says Norv Turner. And the San Diego Chargers are now 7-3. Marty Schottenheimer, boy, he loves beating the Raiders. 23-7 against him. LaDainian Tomlinson, 37 carries for 164 yards, and Gates 8 for 101. These two guys and Breeze have been the stars.
Yeah, a tight end who I can go to all the time, especially down in the red zone. LaDainian Tomlinson carrying the load in the running game and making Drew Brees only complete 18 passes in order to win a football game. And that's been Marty's plan all along throughout his entire coaching life.
So there's 7-3. Denver is at New Orleans. Ruben drones. He keeps droning on and on. He drones on and on. But the good news is he runs for the Broncos, and that drone is a 51-yard run for a touchdown, 7-0 in New Orleans. Before they can even stir the second Bloody Mary on Bourbon Street, Jake Plummer, Ashley Lay, 37-yard touchdown, 14-0 Denver. Now, take a few Advil. It's 20. Aaron Brooks, are you kidding me? That's his second worst play this year. The pass at San Diego was more ridiculous. But this is a touchdown to Al Wilson. Does this sum up the Saints or what?
It does. It does.
27-3. Brooke, watch Champ Bailey. Are you kidding me? Originally, they said out of bounds, but take another look and tell me what kind of athlete he is.
Yeah, the athleticism, and watch the footwork, the tap in with the left foot. He taps down the right foot. Yeah, I'm not surprised the officials thought he was out of bounds. But you see Champ right there, maybe the most athletic corner in the game.
Oh, by the way, at corner, he had 13 tackles today, too, Tom. And the Broncos, along with San Diego, who play in 2 weeks at San Diego, beat the Saints 34-13. Despite the fact that Brooks 34-60, 377, you saw the pass. You can't do that.
Can't do it.
And Denver's
and it happens far too often.
And so the Saints had a chance at 500, but not today. When we return, Eli Manning, Giants, Jeremy Shockey, would he be more involved? They were happy there, but, you know, Atlanta's not 7-2 by accident. What would they bring on? And Terrell Owens, Eagles against their rival from down the road, Washington. Renewed acquaintances, if you will.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
And now to the top teams in the NFC. That would be Philadelphia at 8-1, hosting Washington. Donovan McNabb and the Eagles at home. The Washington 7-3, and then McNabb hit by Donovan trying to duplicate that Monday night scramble, which he did for a while, and then moves up, and Jermaine Haley, look out, Don. How does he? Oh, no, he doesn't. It's a fumble. Haley recovers, leads to a field goal 7-6 at the half. 3rd and 2, third quarter. Brian Westbrook catches a 6-yarder, first down and a flag, because Sean Taylor, what are you doing? Hitting T.O. late, 15 more yards. So now 3rd and 5, McNabb, Terrell Owens, and 10-yard touchdown, 80-yard drive. 14. I thought he'd do something towelish. 14-6 Eagles. And now 1st and goal at the 10. False start, Ray Brown. So Washington has a chance to get right back and maybe tie the game. 1st and goal from the 15-member Patrick Ramsey starting at quarterback, holding Chris Samuels. And then 1st and goal from the 25, incomplete to Clinton Portis. 2nd and goal from the 25. Portis drops the screen. 3rd and goal from the 20. False start, Samuels.
Jeez.
3rd and goal from the 30. And then Rod Gardner drops it. So now we're going to try a 48-yard field goal. Ola Kimren naturally misses right.
One of the miserable sequences of the year.
Well, Joe agrees with you, by the way, Tom. Points in the red zone. Eagles do it. Here they are at the 1. Twice, Donovan McNabb went to Brian Westbrook. He had 4 touchdown passes on this day, throwing for just 222. And the Philadelphia Eagles, with a big second half and a big smile from their QB, beat the Redskins 28-6. They run their mark to 9-1. I think we should remark that as New England did after their loss to Pittsburgh, flattening 2 opponents, Philadelphia has flattened 2 as well.
Yeah, and best news for Philadelphia, Donovan McNabb, T.O., they're going to play and do their thing, but I thought that Brian Westbrook today started to look like Brian Westbrook. You know, the guy rushing, receiving, get down around the goal line. I'm the guy who can get it in. You know, you get Brian Westbrook playing well, he's quite a weapon.
Another comment, too, Portis held to 37 yards. The changes Andy Reid made, Trotter in the middle.
That's right.
The Speaker of the House, Sam Rayburn, playing up front. They're doing a better job against the run.
That's right.
And they're 9-1, Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, while the Eagles doing that, up the road a piece, the team with the second best record in the NFC would be the Atlanta Falcons at 7-2 going in, playing the Giants. But not just any day. The heralded debut of Eli Manning as Tom Coughlin in our next Prime Cut decided that it was time that Kurt Warner's play helped them get to 5-4, which is more than they could have asked for. Really big picture. But now it's time for the kid. And so how would he do? Well, hello, Patrick Kearney sacked him. That's the only one. And Atlanta's been a sack machine this year, so they cut down on sacks, Tom, number 1. Michael Vick, every time you looked up, run, Michael, run. Look, and the guys are down there blocking for him, this poor guy.
Well, I think some of this was planned as well. He started the game with the idea of, I'm going to make the defensive front respect the fact that I can run down the football field, and then it'll give me more time to throw.
And then, so Vick in pocket this time, fires it to Algie Crumpler. And 2 touchdowns from Victor Crumpler in this game. That right there was 7-0 this. A pick by Jason Webster, the one-time 49er. Eli picked off there, 1 of 2. And it's 14-0 Falcons at the half. Can Manning mount a challenge? He scrambles. Buys some time. Where's Tiki? There he is. 10 yards, first down. Then, 3rd down play, Manning moving forward in the pocket. He looked off into Shockey. You know, the Giants dropped about a half a dozen balls today. Meanwhile, Manning to Shockey, touchdown. There it is, his first NFL touchdown pass. Congrats, 14-7, we have a game. He fakes, keep the ball, young side, why not? So, 14-7, Brady Smith, the defensive lineman, dropped back in coverage. But the return, called back on the interception due to penalties. Then, Vick, with the keeper, comes up short of the first down, and with the score 14-10 late fourth, the Falcons force the punt. Manning, 2-minute drill, can it happen? Tiki, that's the Shockey. Next play, Manning. Inside handoff to Tiki Barber, 13 yards, first down. Then Eli pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. You see the clock a minute 11. That ball incomplete, intended for Shockey. Eli, 3rd and 10. That'll be 7 yards to Ike Hilliard. 4th and 3. The crowd in a frenzy. Broken up on the pass to Shockey. Manning, the Giants game. And that's a nice scene right there. Michael Vick and the Falcons go to 8-2. The Giants fall to 5-5 in Eli's debut. 14-10. The Falcons win it as Vick runs for over 100 yards for the 3rd time this year at 104. But after the game, Eli Manning, the one that, how did it go, young man?
I just think I have a better feel of how to manage the game and how the speed of the game is different. I got to make quick decisions. Sometimes I was making too quick of decisions, getting the ball out of my hands too quickly, worried about the rush. So I think the more practice I get, the more time I get in the games, I'll get a better feel and be more confident and have a better poise.
How about that, like evaluating himself after a day that he dreamt about all his life? So he and Peyton lost their NFL debuts. So only Dad can say, you know what, guys? I did something you never did. I won my NFL debut with the New Orleans Saints, although I think Peyton's won a few more games, and Eli certainly will. So as we look at Eli, man, how would we evaluate this, Tom?
Well, he's playing this week and next week.
They mellowed it out, right?
Yeah, the 2 toughest teams in football. You certainly narrowed down that playbook a little bit, but I think his assessment is correct. There's certain things as a rookie that he's going to see, and the game is moving awfully fast for him right now. Just some things to look at as he makes his first start. Jeremy Shockey at the bottom of the screen, he's going to be a weapon for him, and they're going to grow together. But just watch how he stares Shockey down. Makes a great pass here for the touchdown. But he's looking right at him. Defenders, as the weeks go on, will be saying, follow his eyes to the football. So that's something he'll grow with, he'll get better at. Here he's looking at a situation where he thinks it's a 4-man rush. Then he's going to see the blitz package coming at him. He's going to think that he's got Amani Toomer open in this wide area. Instead, the end is dropping off and making a pick. Now look at the area he's looking at. He doesn't see the end coming off. So again, you're going to see defenses use every trick they can, things that he hasn't seen. The more he sees, the more he plays. The same thing will happen for Eli that happens for every quarterback. The game will begin to slow down, and that makes it easier for me to see things that are going on out in front of me.
And look, they got 5 and 4 out of Warner. Can they get 4 and 3 out of Manning? I mean, that's the big picture.
Absolutely.
I mean, you mentioned, Tom, they play Atlanta and Philly, the best 2 teams in the conference, both home games.
Right.
Can they get 5 and 4 plus 4 and 3? What do you think?
Depends on how quickly he picks up the game. I think it's going to happen awfully quick for him because I think he has great pedigree.
Man, speaking of quick, Michael Vick, and now run this year for 640 yards.
Yeah, 115 passing, 104 rushing.
5th best single season rushing for a quarterback in a season already, and he's played just 10 games. When we return, game balls, dunks, passes, doinks, returns. We'll be back.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Nexium. Talk to your doctor about prescription Nexium. Primetime Performers, brought to you by Nexium. Talk to your doctor about prescription Nexium.
Boomer, my game ball is going to go to Edgerrin James, and this is a feel-good story for me, watching Edgerrin James look like the Edgerrin James of old. 204 yards rushing and a touchdown, just making that Colts offense even more lethal than it is with Peyton Manning passing the football.
And he's fallen a little bit in the background for Indianapolis, though not much. And LaDainian Tomlinson's been playing hurt with a groin area injury. Oh, well, a bye week. Why don't we carry it 37 times? In 6 games against the Raiders, he's rushed for 875 yards. And remember, a lot of those teams were not very good. Meanwhile, the AFC today went 4-1 against the NFC, winning all 4 games by 20 points. In case you were wondering, 27-16 AFC over the NFC. And the reason is, we got 2 teams with really good records in the NFC, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Philly,
6,
Atlanta.
Yeah, there's 7 teams at 7-3 in the AFC.
Yeah. 8 teams with 6 wins or more.
There's a lot. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, Tom. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Primetime.